do as well. We're also here with Jonny. Did try to schedule this in a time frame where he couldn't make it, but yeah. He's
Sadly,
here too.
I'm always there, so I cannot be avoided.
Just like herpes.
Yep.
Anyway, so
True.
we will be discussing all kinds of gaming stuff. We will, and we've got a bunch of questions from patrons, people in Discord, who are going to probably inundate us with questions about some of the stuff we're going to talk about. GTA, Xbox, diskless. Well, you have to say that. You have to really pronounce that right. Diskless. We're going to talk about diskless gaming. I just realized that could have sounded weird. That's like whenever we talk about the whole or the, what was it? There was something I messed up and somebody thought I was calling everybody whores. And I was like, come on, guys. Come on, I wouldn't do that. I would. And then we're going to, we actually have some freestyle questions that I think will be really fun for these guys. So let's let them introduce themselves with no further ado. First, we're going to, so to make this easy, because we have 6, and so everybody's not like, you know, randomly yakking over the top of each other. What I do is I go around the bend. So to be is basically what I'll probably try to do is Asa, then Craig, Jonny, Luke, and then Demon. But we don't let the last person go last every time because that would be cheating. So then we start again on the next question. It'll be Demon, and we'll go back around, and then I'll switch it up a little bit. But that way we don't have any mess ups. Asa, what do you do? Who are you? Tell us your deepest, darkest secrets, man. In fact, you have to start with the deepest, darkest secret of your life that's going to get you canceled. Go.
Absolutely not, because that'll get you canceled as well. But
dude, if you could
thanks for having me back
I would have
again.
been canceled. I would have been canceled a long time ago by myself. Yeah. No, you're welcome.
Thanks.
Jonny and I love having you on, man. It's a blast, dude.
And you let me bring some of my friends as well, so
yes,
hopefully they won't bring shame upon us. But yeah, I run Gaming Arcadia. I try and do a bit of game development. I chase stupid things in video games with a VR treadmill and stuff like that, and old stuff as well. So yeah, that's me. I think hopefully some people already know me, but pleased to be here. Happy to talk to everyone that's in chat and all the rest of it.
All right. What about you, Craig?
Yeah, I'm a mechanic. Fix cars daily. Seems to be all I do at the moment. No downtime, no video games played, no nothing, just work.
Do you...
I don't have a deep dark secret.
Yeah, we don't need to know it. It's fine. I mean, unless it's hilarious, and then we'll just laugh about it. What, like, okay, let me ask you a question about cars. Most expensive car to repair?
It depends. Japanese stuff, as reliable as there are expensive to repair.
Once you have to.
Most expensive mistake you've made.
Yeah, most expensive mistake.
Oh, why did I ripped the door off an Audi A6? It was an automatic, and it was in reverse, and I thought it was in neutral, and I got out of the car, and it set off backwards.
Jonny, somebody else has done it. My Dodge Dart got a brand new car. Wasn't brand new, and had the door open, backed up. Tore it right, did the old flip forward thing on my best friend's car. Damn. So it does happen to other people. Hey, that feels good. It feels like I'm not the only one who does it.
On the plus side, if you guys got through that, anything else is going to be, walk in the park.
I'm a firm believer of having the red ticket right at the starting. Go ahead, Greg.
At least it wasn't someone else's car when you did it, though.
Yeah,
I
true.
did it to a customer's car. Yeah.
Stuff happens, man. Jonny, tell us a little bit about yourself. This is the first time you're on the podcast. I want to say how much I appreciate it.
First time ever.
Largest podcaster I've ever known. Give me some heads up. What have you been doing? Where you been flying?
Yeah. I am a software engineer. I enjoy playing some music, playing games, play some League. That's my dojo. I step in there. That's my self-improvement dojo. And then to relax, I play other games. Recently been playing Beast of Reincarnation that came out. Was also playing Black Flag before that. So that's really what I've been up to.
And what would you say was your best achievement this week?
It was probably work related. We got some pretty cool stuff done at work. There's like some pretty big stuff going on with a database platform that my team and I created. And it's just making some big moves. It's been exciting. Lots of pressure, but pretty good.
Look at you, man. Congrats. Luke, what about you, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer in real life for my sins.
Damn.
Yeah, I've been very busy, but I have actually got a lot of gaming done as well this week, which has been nice, and the last couple of weeks actually. So the balance is going quite well.
Going in your
Can I ask you?
favor?
Yes, yeah, very much so.
Go
Do
ahead,
you
Jonny.
defend people, or do you go after people?
I do need
Good lawyer, bad lawyer.
I'm not like Saul Goodman, if that's what you're asking.
Ambulance chaser,
Right.
He's just waiting
Yeah,
outside.
no.
ambulance.
So by trade, I'm a mergers and acquisitions
Oh, damn.
private equity lawyer.
Awesome.
So kind of general corporate, but specifically those things. So there's no good guys, bad guys. There's just companies.
That's what a bad guy would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's true. That is very true. Demon Hunter. Now, here's the thing. Demon Hunter's the only one with like the old Xbox name as his name, but that's what I'm going to go with. Is that cool? Or do you want me to?
You can call me Demon Hunter.
Okay. Oh, I sort of like the name. I think it sort of sounds badass. So what about you?
Yeah,
What do you do?
yeah.
What's your deepest, darkest secret?
What I do, I'm a software engineer as well, and project manager as at the same time. I like playing games. I like VR. I like modding games as well. That's me. I enjoy. Sometimes I do videos like live streams and all of that, but I don't do them like as a serious thing, you would say. Yeah. Darkest secrets. I don't know.
You know,
Well, I used to live in Algeria, and yes, like I did not have access to buying games, even if I want to.
Don't confess to any crimes. Luke is gonna go for you. He's gonna come for you.
I did sail the seas. I'll just say that. I couldn't do anything
I'm
about
going to
it. But
acquire
right
your
now
ass from
I
prison.
Yeah, I mean,
But I buy all my games.
I feel like the inordinate number of people we've had on this podcast, we do have a lot of United States visitors, and it definitely seems like that's a common denominator wherever they lived.
Yeah.
Because I remember Michael came on, and he's a PR guy, and he admitted it, and he got destroyed in chat. This was back when it was like, I think everybody was holier than thou then, a little bit more than now, where there's like issues with companies. So people are like, I deserve everything. I should be able to download anything and get it for free. And I remember he got destroyed. Yeah, a lot. I mean, Abzy, I think Abzy actually found me a game for review that was out 2 weeks early on some Saudi shelves one time. So like, a lot of people just grabbed that shit early back in the day. Not anymore though. Demon said not anymore.
Not anymore.
We're going to start with Demon too on this question. So we all saw it. What is it? August 27th. So that's when we were planning this podcast, but unfortunately, Netflix and GTA had other plans. We were going to get together, and we wanted them to be able to announce and get some of the fanfare. But they are doing a Netflix, I guess 25 minute documentary and like behind the scenes / gameplay trailer for GTA. And I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on what you think of, technically it being money gated, I guess. And it's exclusive for a couple hours, and just the idea of Netflix having it. So we'll start with Demon. Have you read the news? Do you need more data on it? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I did. I feel like it makes sense mostly for Rockstar and Take-Two. Like they will be the most beneficiary from it. Like they are going to have more eyes on their game. Like people that are casuals that don't play games will just log on to Netflix and will see GTA 6 is coming. I think a lot of people don't know about it, but I feel like Netflix might have been scammed a little bit, because as soon as that live stream is going, as soon as that gameplay deep dive is going live on Netflix, it will be everywhere. Telegram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.
Right.
I don't think anybody can stop the leaks. I don't expect people to also sign up for Netflix just to see that. Also, they can sign up for a free trial, so don't think they will get a lot of money from it. So Rockstar is the most is the winner here, I would say.
I have a question for you. Who do you think went to who?
Who's on their knees?
Yeah, I think it's possible that Take-Two went to Netflix. Well, that's what I think. I know that Strauss Zalnik was asked this question today, and he was like avoiding it. Yeah, they just said that they have a lot of discussions together. They have been like putting GTA San Andreas and Vice City and all of those games in Netflix. So I think it's Take-Two. That's my answer.
Okay, that's fair. What about you, Luke?
Yeah, I think it's really interesting, but I think Netflix probably initiated that. I don't know exactly like the bargain that they get out of it, considering it's only 6 hours exclusivity, and actually it'll be plastered everywhere very quickly. But I mean, from Take-Two's perspective, I can only imagine the amount of money they must have got for this, and it adds to what will already be an extraordinarily profitable game already. I'm sure it's all with pre-orders and this and other stuff. It's already probably approaching the realms of profitability before it's even launched.
Yeah. 1.1 billion, Luke, this morning.
Yeah. Yes. Which, I mean, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. So, yeah, I think Netflix probably initiated it. And I guess for them, it's as in for Netflix, it's just more engagement for, it's going to be a lot of engagement for a very short space of time, but that's probably good for them. And also good for Take-Two, who I don't think, I saw someone suggest like at some point, or some people suggest that it's good for the exposure of the game. But in my head, I'm kind of like, I think even non-gamers know about GTA, so I don't think it's necessarily for that. I just think that it's just another marketing beat for Rockstar and Take-Two, and just to keep it in the kind of public cosmos, so to speak, as they approach launch. But
yeah, what about you, Johnny?
Yeah, I remember Rockstar were talking, and Take-Two were talking specifically that they were going to do different PR moves for the game. Yeah. Outside of the traditional just billboards and kind of, that kind of stuff. So I think this fits perfectly within that. So it does make me think that maybe they initiated the deal. But Netflix, I think, is super happy with it, because even if they don't get a big influx of like new users subscribing, I think there are a lot of other metrics they really care about, like active users, like people engaging with stuff and like getting active, going back to Netflix. Maybe someone has a subscription but hasn't watched in a week, right? That this can kind of get them back in the platform. A lot of stuff like that just generates momentum for them. So I think they're very happy with it. And I think it's cool too that it's maybe the first gaming specific like documentary that I've seen in Netflix or some of these big streaming services. So it could be hopefully a precedent for other games too.
Yeah, it's a good. I hadn't thought about that. That's actually a good point. I mean, they've been before, but they're just on YouTube, and YouTube loses stuff so quickly. Yeah, I mean, you can do the same search twice in a row and get a totally different 5 videos at the top, especially on the more popular games. What about you, Craig?
Yeah, like Amin said, it to somebody that doesn't know anything about games to log on and it'd be there. I don't know that it's going to do anything for the game if you don't care about games, but it's definitely something. It's like they're pushing advertising that the game doesn't need. Everybody knows, so to speak, that cares. Yeah. But we're already talking about it now, and they've only announced that they're going to do it. So it's doing what they intend.
Yeah, that is true. The announcement of the announcement or the announcement of the thing is getting more discussion than most new games do. So that is something to be said. What about you, Asa?
I tell you something that's going to really upset the executives at Netflix. I'm not going to watch it. That's my take on it. Aside from the conversation about who initiated it and what's the value of it, and it gets people talking about Netflix and all the rest of it. But for me, I don't want to watch that. Jeff Keighley announced today as well that he's got Final Fantasy VII Revelations trailer at opening night live for his thing. And I don't want to watch that because there's certain games that I know enough about. And I don't want a 25-minute intro to GTA 6 because I can play it and get that experience firsthand. And that's better for me.
Those are all actually good thoughts. My thought is that, so long story short, Netflix drew a square on the front of their page and is going to put a video there. Doesn't require a ton to put up. They also, we've seen GTA kill YouTube a couple times, especially I remember GTA 5, one of the trailers killed YouTube bandwidth, like destroyed it. I'm sure it's much better now, but you put it on Netflix, maybe Netflix servers a little bit better at handling your stuff. I don't think there's much for Netflix other than, you get people signing on. You can report that later in your financials, I mean, it helps, I guess. But when it comes to who came to who, I mean, I don't know other than I would agree with everybody here that GTA is its own thing. They could launch on their own video channel that they created yesterday on some old Pentium 2 and people would still queue up in line to watch it. Like it's its own industry. It's complete. It's separate. Yeah. I mean, not me either. Cause I'm not going to, I mean, I have Netflix. I'll watch it, but I'm not, going to die if I don't see it. But when you look at it, especially for these two big companies, I mean, it is already over $1 billion. And then there's rumors. We've seen multiple rumors anywhere from 850 million to 1.2 billion in the cost of the game. That's going to be made up on pre-orders already. They're going to be in profitability pretty quick. And I think, in all honesty, it's pretty smart to sort of also try Netflix because Netflix is trying to get into games anyway, be the first one, sort of do a big thing on there, see how it goes. But I also think a lot of gamers just, other than the price gate thing, which does suck, I think a lot of gamers just shrugged about it in a way Asa did, where they're like, okay, I mean, it's a trailer. So it's easier to pick. It's not the game, right? I do want to point out, though, that GTA is widely considered around the industry to not care about any event. They do not go to Game Awards. They do not care about any of that because they're their own thing. Why share the spotlight with anybody else when you are the spotlight? So, like I joked prior to the podcast, I'm sure Jeff was out there kicking an invisible cat going, damn, that would have been great to have that on the Game Awards. Which is probably why he announced Final Fantasy. What is that? Final Fantasy Part 3? Final Fantasy 7 Part 3? Yeah. Is that what you said? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Wow. That's Yeah, that seems a little odd to even announce that today. But anyway, yeah, it feels like that. To me, it's not that strange, but I don't think it's going to change anything. I think they're trying to get as many eyes on it as possible. I also think, dude, some of these guys, I feel like there's been a net of bad ideas. And for the last 30 years I've been covering games, this net is filled up. And for whatever reason, a company will only do one or two bad ideas occasionally. And it feels like the last 2 years we've had every bad idea spill out of the net. And this is one of the ones where I'm like, that's not a bad idea. It's just an idea. But it feels like sometimes these companies just don't know what to do. Like this feels like it's not, I don't know what to do, but it's like sort of much ado about nothing right now. It doesn't really feel like, other than that money gating. That does suck. That does suck for a lot of people who, maybe want to watch it early. How many hours did you say it was exclusive? Did you say it was
6 hours?
6 hours, man. Like that's, some people are going to be at work. And by the time they get home, it'll be 6 hours later. They'll just be watching on, as you guys said, Telegram, Netflix, Facebook, MySpace. Somebody will go to an old GeoCities. There'll be an old Alt Vista account. I'll use my NeoSpark old beta browser, and it'll be on some, Dave's Sega Saturn. One of the first Sega Saturn pages will probably upload it. So, yeah, it's weird. But we are talking about it, right? Like, there you go.
Yeah, and maybe that's what both companies or both parties want to just generate talk.
I mean,
and hubbub.
I just don't. There's obviously people who don't know about or don't know if they're going to get it or whatever, but I just don't. I mean, maybe it'll be amazing looking. Like maybe it'll be to the point to where it's like not only is it special because it's on Netflix, but they turn it on, you're like, it can't possibly look this good. I don't think that's going to happen. But I don't know about you guys. What you guys, obviously we all think it'll be on the Pro. The footage will be the Pro version or a PC development kit pretending to be a Pro. Is that what we're all assuming this footage will be on? Or does anybody think it'll be on the Series S to show that it's possible? Because remember, they said it.
No.
They said it's possible. I'm a Demon. I'm a firm believer. Show it on the lowest system and say, look how good this looks on the S. Like, imagine what this will look like on your PS5 Pro and your. I honestly would love something like that because we're always talking about 4090s and 5090s and all that stuff. How many people can afford that? That costs more than my first 2 cars combined. Like, but on a consoles aren't going to be cheap either. But you know what I mean. It's gonna be crazy to see that. Like I'm excited for GTA, but I'm also of the opinion it'll probably just be the same quality they've done, which is one of those games that you just it's fun. It's fun. I'm not a big GTA freak though. I don't know. Is anybody here a huge GTA fan? Like staying up late okay, Demon. Yeah. Should have known. Should have known.
Checks out.
The sinner.
The criminal amongst us.
Yeah. The only one with demon in his name. Do you have anything to add to that then? To the whole rigmarole of I want to look at this. I did a poll to see who was going to watch this, by the way. The Netflix thing. Let me see what the answers are. I'm going to take a guess. See, a poll doesn't make any sense because people will be like, of course I won't watch it. And then, they'll be like, look at what I watched. But let's see. Let's end this poll and see. Did the poll not start? Nope, there it is. 59%. Listen to this. 59% said no. 41% said that seems fair. 41% said yes. That seems
69 votes. No, somebody voted and now it's 70.
Yeah, thanks for pointing out the really important part of that stat, dude. You're on it. You're on it. As always, man. You got my back. Grab a question from inside of the Discord, Jonny. I like to do a topic and then a question.
All right. Let's see. Oh. So I just noticed I put the post of the stream going live in the thread instead of the actual general. Good job there. Good job, me.
That's why you're one of the best streamers out there.
It's great. Yeah, fantastic. Let's see. Bad Toy 1986 says, what is the best or most memorable gamer tag you have ever come across? It could be creative, fun, or even brilliant innuendo.
Damn, that's a good question.
I think Wet Chipotle is the best. That one guy was called Wet Chipotle 69. Memorable.
I can't even remember the last Xbox like gamer tag I even paid attention to. Solar Sphincter always cracks me up, but that's just Solar.
Yeah.
Forever Beaver Lover because Omar was trying to throw me shit. Yeah, I don't. Do you guys ever see like a one that's like really witty? Occasionally I will, but most are not acceptable to talk about on a podcast. Like they're that kind of. Where
that's why I deliberately, because I'm usually streaming and stuff, so I have to specifically tune these out, because if I read these things out loud, then I'm in trouble. So,
yeah. Does anybody have any answers for that? Well, you don't all have to answer if nobody has an answer for it. I don't track those very often. Forever Beaver Lover is memorable to me. Solar Sphincters, just reading the guys in here. Okay. Anyway, does anybody have any? They're like, I'm trying to think if there is any. I mean, and also they control them so much now, right? Like, I mean, back in the day,
a lot of stuff is banned. Yeah.
I think if you'd asked me like 15 years ago, 20 years ago, I mean, I wouldn't be able to say most of them anyway, but they've been way more memorable than they are now.
Yeah, they would have been stuck in the old brain pan for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we got? So So skipping past the Xbox stuff, I think we've covered that, or not the Xbox stuff, but the GTA stuff. I think we've covered that. I haven't got your guys' opinion on the Xbox thing and the PlayStation diskless. How do we frame this? Let's see. So we've already talked about it a couple times, but if somebody hasn't really seen it, well, how about this? Does anybody think the Xbox Helix is now? I know John Linneman said he had heard that the Helix was still had a disc. That is the same exact rumor I heard from people that work there, but that means nothing. That's like, that was a while ago. But do you guys think the Xbox is going to keep a disc, have a disc player? And anybody can feel free to start this one if anybody has a hard idea.
If they've got any common sense, they will, because it's like an open goal at this point.
Right.
Well, it is for the 1% of people screaming about PlayStation going discless on Twitter, I suppose. But...
Do you think it's a goal in a game that's already lost, though? For them?
Yeah, quite possibly, yeah. Although I'm fascinated by the disc to digital thing that keeps getting rumored that they haven't actually announced.
Yeah.
Seems like that's the most convenient thing.
Xbox
for people with a disc
is the leak is shipped known to man. They always have been. Their stuff always comes out early, even when they didn't have the premier groups that you could join in the rings. Their information just always seems. Their events would just get
instantly
known. And so we all sit here going, like, when are you guys going to announce this? And then, you have some talking head be like, hey, we've got this amazing idea. And you're like, yeah, we're already past that one, man. We already know about this disc to digital. I'm actually pretty excited for that, but maybe just because I do worry about my discs getting scratched or whatever. So putting it in there, applying it to the system, having a little certificate, I'm okay with. I don't want discs to go away, but does anybody else have anything? What about you, Johnny?
It doesn't solve the concern of being able to sell games, right? So if you're selling your console, for example, you can't really get money for the games you got in the console if you've turned them to digital.
So the rumor is, I don't know how true it is, but if you sell that same disc, once they plug it into their Xbox, that license get transferred to that new owner. Yeah, and the old owner will lose it. So that's a good solution. And about the disc, if it will be included in the new Helix console, I think they do need a disc to start this disc to digital transfer. Unless they are forcing you to have an old console, do your disc to digital transfer, and then you can go to the Helix. So that's how I think about it. They will have a disc, and that's how you will do it.
What about you, Luke? Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I think they probably will, but I presume it would be an optional add-on. No, do we think it will be included? I can't see in a world where component costs are so high that they would add to that cost by including a mandatory disk drive. So I would only assume it would be an external option. You can get on the PlayStation Now, an example for the Pro and such. But I think it's really interesting. It is an easy layup for them to just have that as an option. I don't want physical discs to go away, but they're going to become, at least in gaming, I think, increasingly more boutique. I think there will be less and less of them, and they will get more expensive because there's just not the volume of manufacture of these anymore. So.
Yeah, I agree with that. Craig, what about you?
Yeah, I'm all digital anyway, really, so I'm not overly bothered. But like I said, the idea of disc to digital, I'm looking at a pile of 360 games that I have. They would be nice to play on a more modern system, I suppose.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that.
it's at least like a solution. It's at least you can keep your games moving forward. I don't know what PlayStation is going to do, because right now they are warning people, like on the box of a new PlayStation, there is a warning saying that after 2028 you will not be able to buy discs. So are they going to have a disc? Are they not going? It's very problematic. Like, people that are buying right now, when I'm buying PlayStation games, I need to think about this. Do I risk it and buy a disc? And when I buy a PlayStation 6, maybe I will not be able to play that game because they will not have a disc. It's at least a solution with Xbox, I would say. At least a solution.
What about you, Asa?
I feel like boutique is the way that it should have gone. That like Sony and Microsoft both should more kind of organically phase discs out in that way by making it, it is niche. Yeah, distribution is more expensive now. Yeah, it's going to be a lot more expensive. And I wonder if the pushback would have been more or less extreme if Sony had come out and said, look, we're doing discs next generation, but they're going to cost $40 more than the digital version now, or something like that, because distribution is just not on the same playing field as it used to be. They've got this, that, and the other reason for why the logistics are so much more expensive, how discs have been phased out from everywhere else, and how we're taking on the burden of cost if we keep doing this. So it's really expensive now. And I wonder, because obviously people aren't going to take that kindly either. And at that point, it becomes a case of like, there's lots of advantages for Sony in particular, Microsoft, whoever else is holding the platform, to go all digital and to take that extra money. So it all makes sense, and it's all quite sad. I don't play physical games myself. I don't collect them, as it were. I have the last disc that I bought was Rise, Son of Rome, which I got with the Xbox One because I wanted something to play when I got it home. I had like a slow internet connection. I didn't want to buy a new console and wait for 2 days to play my first game. So I bought a disc, and that was the last disc that I ever bought. I'm actually, weirdly, I'm more likely to buy a code in a box than a disc in a box. So if they go ahead with this new method of still using retail chains and putting a download code in a box instead of a disc, and this is the thing that people are all furious about because they don't want that, for me, that then becomes a product I'm more interested in. I don't want a disc that I have to keep track of and have to put into the console, but give me a code that might have a cheaper price, might have a nice little box to go with it, something like that, and has the same convenience that my lazy ass is used to. I'm actually more likely to buy that.
Well, I like your optimism about a cheaper price. Digital should at least be $10 cheaper, and hasn't been.
Yep.
And it stuns me. Everybody knows I don't like companies most of the time, but this is arrogant Sony. I've lived through it already twice. I've lived through when Sony is the chief platform maker, and this kind of stuff, if you go back and look at the history, is sort of like how they do things, and they sort of inject their idea of what the future is, and God forbid anybody has any, whether it be the consumer or whatever, but in the end, most people buy them anyway, whatever that device may be from Sony, because they're just a juggernaut in the social consciousness of like gamers. They just are, maybe less so now, but it feels like, I don't know, man, they're not going to be cheaper, dude. I love your idea, man. I mean, I give you a hug right now, but it ain't going to happen.
Though. It's not completely blind optimism. I don't think Sony are going to lower the price by any stretch. But if they're still flooding retail channels with codes, like at the moment, if you look at like loaded.com, you can buy Xbox games cheaper than you can buy them on the Xbox store because they're kind of more open already. Sony are going to have to... I actually saw someone arguing on Twitter about how people are going to buy all of these codes and they're going to be sitting there. They're not going to be able to sell them. But that's when games will get cheaper, potentially, because retail stores are going to have codes sitting on shelves.
Yeah.
And actually, then you do have a competitive digital marketplace. So the baseline price,
similar...
the RRP, will be the same, but there will be people trying to undercut each other, hopefully, if it opens up in the way that it probably has to.
Yeah.
Yeah, similar how we see Amazon having low prices on physical games very often. It's they just have the stock, right? So it can kind of naturally go lower on price.
Man, this is abusive relationships right here, guys. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I hope you're right. I mean, obviously, I'm just not a big fan of any, we just see this a lot. You saw it with Nintendo. The Gestapo Nintendo is what I had to live with them threatening Toys R Us and all the bullshit. And I've said it for years, but they're not saving babies from floods, man. You shouldn't defend the company. It makes no sense. They're not an entity. They're a friggin' company. They're not out there like lifting a baby up like Simba and the Lion King. You know, like it's not happening. And I don't see them magically. I don't even see them reacting to a consumer space in the way we think, because the consumer space is no longer. I used to work at a place so you would take your deliveries on Tuesdays of your shipments of new games. And then it used to be Thursdays. And then we got this overnight where the games showed up every night at your Fred Meyer or your wherever, your Piggly Wiggly, whatever the hell whatever you're buying your games from. It's just so changed now that I also don't want, dude, I'm not somebody out there who's hugging trees, but the honest truth is I don't want a case that's for a CD that's got a sticker in it. Sorry. In the old days, they were talking for a while about kiosks, where you would go in and you would be able to buy a disc from a kiosk, right? Like, and go in there and just get that, or buy a digital download or whatever. I would rather have that than a CD thing on my wall, like an empty disc that's just sitting there, an empty disc holder just sitting there, because that's just a bunch of plastic that, in all honesty, again, I'm not that person. I'm just not. But I still look at it going, I'm not right now, but if we're talking about 90 million PlayStations, and then let's say we get to 90 million for one of them, the next one, and you're talking about games selling 5-6 million, if even 10% of those, 20% of those are physical, and it's not physical. That's the other, it's a physical piece of paper. But at that point, how do you even call it physical anymore? Because it's not. Now, I lived through it with PC, though, too. I used to go to Walmart and pick up like those cheap Walmart games that were made by like the one developer who changed one thing and, put a new year on it. Not EA. We're talking about like actual developers. And they would, they would sell. And we've all, most of us have a Steam account, I'm sure. So we're all accustomed to digital. I do want to point out the hilarious, awesome Twitter posts I see where somebody's like, I cannot believe they're taking away these nuggets of physicality that I love so much. This is why I like Steam. And I'm like, Steam's digital, dude. What the are we doing right now? I don't know, guys. Like, I just don't see Sony. I see Sony driving the market, not reacting as much. I hope I'm wrong. Sony has proved me wrong, though. How many years, guys, have we... you're a little kid, I'm sure. You'd see a company do something stupid, and you'd be like, why don't they change, man? Sony has done a couple positive things, and it's going to sound negative. I don't want it to. But their canceling and removal of Concord is exactly what gamers have demanded for years. A game is not doing well. You don't instead filter two poor devs who are sitting in a corner like a Japanese firing, where they're over there by themselves trying to keep some game that's not going to run up and running. They just say, this is bad. It didn't work. We're going to remove this. So I do like to see the companies making bigger changes. But when it comes to the retail space like this, I don't see anything other than raised prices and maybe more microtransactions. Also, the premiums are out of control, right? The premium versions, they're ridiculous. Like, some of them don't have a game. That's not a premium. By the way, you cannot sell me a premium version of a game without a game in it. That's not the premium version of the game. It's a premium version of the statue that you got of some woman's bust in Dying Light or something. Like, there's a big mismatch in what these companies like are even seeing in a way. And I also think they're listening to the loudest screamers on some stuff and then not on others. I would agree that I think lesser percent of people are probably complaining than it feels like to me. Like you guys were saying on Twitter, you go on and it sounds like, my God, it's this thing. But I don't, in the same way everybody knows about GTA, I don't think everybody knows there's physical games. Because
it's like, I know you don't like financials, but the chief financial officer at Sony said about it that there's no material impact on them. They're not seeing any less sales than before all of this happened. Like,
well, it's not that I don't like financials, it's that after a while, you're just repeating these financials that have been...
it gets boring.
or if somebody says, well, we've increased by 20%, I'm like, well, if your first number was 2, that's a shit ass... Like, 20% of 2? Like, oh, great.
Yeah.
They don't give you the original number to get the percent from. And so it's this useless stuff. Sony's data, I think the leaks are the best thing that happened to gamers in years. I don't like leaks, by the way. Everybody knows I don't. I don't like the hacking. But we got to see, especially with some of these companies that have a front-facing identity, we actually got to see what really happened. And you get to see like Sony asking Spider-Man to remove 80 million from the making of that game. And you're like, whoa, that indicates they were seeing issues pretty early in some of this stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. Interesting discussion, man. I hope you're right, Asa. Not in that I think you're super optimistic, but I do hope you're right that we get more deals, I guess.
I think the biggest impacts when it comes to this disc to digital is third world countries. Like when I was living in Algeria, like most people if they buy a console, they buy disc games. They don't buy digital because they cannot they cannot. There is no way to pay online. That's one thing.
Right.
The other thing is to they buy a disc because they trade it, and that's one way they can get to enjoy consoles. Otherwise, they just stick with the PC and they sail the seas. So that's what it's gonna impact.
I mean, you also have Sony. They have that coalition of countries that they don't offer things like PS Plus in any way. We had this when they were doing the Steam stuff.
Helldivers.
Yeah. So and they don't sell. The stores there may not work in the same way either. So they really have to address those things. Otherwise, I mean, places will literally be locked out of any way of officially buying PlayStation games in the next generation. Well, in 2028 rather. So, so clearly they have to do something about that as well, surely. And it's in their best interest to do that. Even if these markets aren't huge, they're still addressable markets that you could get people to get into the ecosystem in. So
I have a question for you. Let's just start with you on this. What do you think let's say we sat you down and you were running Xbox for 1 week? What's the thing that you think what do you think they need to focus on the most?
We've kind of discussed this question on our podcast before, and I think my honest answer is I have no idea. I literally I try and think about being put into that position and confronted with all of the issues that their org have, and then all of the issues that the world has in terms of in respect of gaming. So just general affordability, component crisis, AI, etc. And you bring that back to the position that Xbox are in, where they have real difficulty already selling any hardware, where their alternative to that, which is Game Pass, is stalled significantly because their hardcore market is on Xbox is pretty much tapped out. They can't increase that anymore, and PC probably growing but slowly. And their multi-platform bets largely haven't been hugely successful, albeit they've sold more than they would have sold on Xbox. And I'm just these guys get paid, they get paid a lot of money, and it's good in a way that they do because they have to try and figure out some incredibly complicated and very difficult questions. I think probably I in a way, in a perverse way, I think what they're doing, not in terms of the cuts, but in terms of trying to focus on bigger bets, bigger games, established IP, is probably the thing that is the right thing to do at this time, to go back to kind of things that are known quantities that can be successful. I'm not sure I particularly like that as a gamer, but that's probably one of the things they can do to at least help revenue generation, bringing out big games that sell well. But again, that's hard. That's another complicated context, because you're selling to a market that's mostly Game Pass subscribers in terms of your console base, and they're trying to lock stuff off to their own platform to try and drive revenue, to try and drive hardware sales as well. So it's like this. There's all these like factors that go into it that just mean this, to me at the minute, it just seems like an impossible equation. Like you can't really get anything. There's no clear answer through it.
Yeah. Jonny, what about you? If I said you got 1 week?
Yeah. Well, I don't have the hairline to be a CEO, but if I were to step in there, my thought is instead of pursuing the console market, I actually would all in on the PC side because they Microsoft owns the operating system,
right.
And yet they've got genuinely one of the worst marketplaces for games. The
terrible.
Store is a travesty.
Yeah.
And it has been for the longest time. So, get something that's so good that it will compel people to buy games there instead of Steam. Really compete with Steam and these are Epic and these other places, maybe give out games and stuff like that. Get people to actually prefer your store because it's better in some way. Maybe you build support for mods in an easier way. All this kind of stuff would be possible if they put people on the problem and really capitalize on the PC audience. That's what I would do. And, keep the console market, right? But just don't invest all of your strategy towards that. I would keep that as more of like a niche offering within the whole framework.
All right, that's good. Craig, what about you?
Probably go full scorched earth and say no day one Game Pass. Make everything exclusive.
You're fired, Craig.
Yeah, like you said, I don't have the hairline for it, so
right.
Yeah, scorched earth. Call of Duty exclusive, the lot.
Okay, well that would be scorched. Asa?
Well, I'm in a unique position because I'm a very charming fella, so I'd probably use all of my charisma and charm to procure some really cheap memory, cut the price of the console. It would be very effective. And then I'd do the same thing as oh no, my light started flickering. I'd do the same thing as Luke suggested, as Microsoft are already doing, is you kind of need them to really leverage their boring IPs. I say boring, like people love Elder Scrolls and Fallouts and all the rest of it, but they need to exploit those as much as they can, which is their plan going forwards. Minecraft, Call of Duty, all of that kind of stuff. When it all came to an inevitable head, which it does seem like it's inevitably all going to crumble in the same way as it always does for them, then I would scorch earth and focus everything on virtual reality.
Damn.
Because I'm only there for a week anyway, so fuck them.
Damn. Demon, do you have any? Do you have an actually good idea?
Actually, good idea. Yeah. I would go with what Jonny said. I think something similar to what Jonny said. It's just be a publisher, even on PlayStation. Like make the console a niche product, something like Surface, what they do with Surface. I might actually stop Game Pass or make it something like EA Play, just Xbox games on there, not third-party games, and make it like 2 tiers. So like you don't get day one games all the time. I think EA Play has like one subscription for day one games and one that is not day one. So something like that. But yeah, just become a publisher. I think the console war you already lost that. I don't think you can get people to buy your console.
My answer, first of all, the memory thing is also what I agree on, and I'm not joking. I think Microsoft is big enough, and they have their issues with memory anyway. I would build up one of the fabs or buy one, and then I would give myself a deal on memory so you could undercut the price, because the price is going to be incredible for these systems if we just look at memory. But sound chips have memory on them. Game controllers have memory on them. People are not realizing that pretty much everything that can save anything is in some way impacted, even if it's 2 or 3 layers down the fab. This is what my old job was. So that is actually a real thing I would love to see Microsoft do, is figure out a way to be like, hey, why don't we build a fab, man? And so we don't get into this issue. I mean, everybody knew that 7 years ago 7 years ago, people were saying this was an issue, and that was before AI. Before they were worried about AI, they were like, we only have 3 manufacturers, guys. Like, it's the major thing that we're doing is building out cell phones and building out all this stuff. Nobody's taking care of the fact that a single earthquake could have dropped it down to like 50% of output for, and by the way, Black Swan events don't care if there's been one 2 days prior. So if we do have an issue, and then there's another issue on top of that, suddenly prices are going to dectuple or some crazy thing like that. Also, I agree on the big budget titles. I think everybody, and I know for a fact at least 3 companies are doing this, definitely looking at Resident Evil as being possibly one of the best ways to make money, the Resident Evil plan, which is your new game, your resync for Black Flag is your sort of bring back an old, give a new, bring back an old, give a new. I think that makes total sense. I know Halo didn't do great on the PS5, but Forza is a top seller. They do have some top sellers there. I don't want them to go back to those, but there are games that they could go back to and do the inner space thing. And we're seeing, a bunch of people are doing that. Ubisoft's obviously going to do it, and they've been very clear they're doing that. Did you guys see Call of Duty sales? The Call of Duty 1 and 2 or whatever, those sales were ridiculous. They did insanely
11
well.
million, I think.
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
That's that's nuts how well that did. So I see that. And then the other thing is, listen, the old adage is you put a million, monkeys at typewriters and you'll come up with every single Shakespearean, excellent play. The fact is that Microsoft has a million monkeys and can't make a store with a proper search. It's horrendous.
That is the most damning.
It's an unacceptable search.
Ever.
It's unacceptable. It's not even an unacceptable service. It's just an unacceptable fact that on their OS, where they have the ability to leverage so many things. We're not talking about mods, which they should have. The moment they got Bethesda, they should have said, we're the only platform with mods. Boom, we're putting mods in everything. Get the creator teams from Bethesda to help everybody put a mod in every game. That would have been a massive boon. This is something Microsoft can do. They don't need anybody else. And they simply do not have the talent. And I know it's uncomfortable to talk about talent, but anybody who's put a team together has had the day where you wake up and you look at the people and you're like, these motherfuckers dumb. It's not going to work. We don't have the talent. Or I don't have the talent, but we just don't have the talent. Nobody wants to talk about talent because it's uncomfortable, but they don't have the talent to fix their store. They don't. They don't have the talent in leadership, and they obviously don't have the talent in programming. It just hasn't happened, guys. It's been years, and they keep dropping other things. They're like, what about an AI that watches your OS? And I'm like, what about a store that uses search to buy your product? Your product is on there. It's terrifyingly bad. And so Microsoft has some huge issues that I don't see them fixing it. I would love to see them get the store where the Xbox feels like the PC and both being good. So not like the PC now, but an actual good functional PC store, something that like a 12-year-old could make with AI right now. They could easily make something like that. It would take them 15 minutes. I'm just joking. But they should vibe code a fucking store. Like, we're at that point now. So you get a store.
Legitimately worth trying.
And the Helix is going to be a PC. I mean, in all shapes. Once they went to x64 and they went away from PPC and all the special programming chips, all these devices are so close that Helix is going to be very close to a low spec or medium spec PC. Their store should reflect that. And it should just, it should just work. As a certain person said, it would be really nice to see these companies, especially them, fix it. But I also think it's a war they maybe can't win. I saw them do a lot of crazy games that I was really happy and proud of the developers to do. Smaller games, unique games, and the reaction was, we still don't care. So they have a PR problem that is so massive that it's just right. And Sony's getting there. Sony lied about the PSN hack for months. They're like, what hacks? What are you talking about? Is in the background everything's on fire and there's nothing to see here? That kind of crap. So Yeah, I don't know, man. It's going to be an interesting time for them. If I was in charge, though, I'd say fix your goddamn store. Also, I'm probably the only person in the world that thinks the 4-disc initiative that they launched recently shouldn't have had any we are at a time where everybody thinks everything's the best thing or the worst thing. And they're like, hey, we got 4 backwards and people are like, Xbox is back. 4 is not an initiative, guys. Sorry. I've worked at companies that do this very thing. 4 is a test. And 4 can also happen where they just say, we don't know if this is going to work. We're just going to throw it out there. And so if they're testing it for a couple months, then they have to spool back up to put development on it to say, this is what we're doing, especially if it's a test. I don't know why we had 4 games. And they were ridiculous. Like, the games. I mean, come on, man. Like, it would have been great to see them do a true initiative, like a real thing. Microsoft loves to dip their toes in, man. They're a giant company. Of all the companies in the world, they do 2 fucking things really well. Dip their toes in and buy everybody. And you're like, dude, what are you doing? You don't have, those are not, they're reacting the same way a gamer would react. Do everything or be so careful. And you just look at it and you're like, or buy Activision. Okay. That was not careful. Sorry. That was just a bad idea all around. But yeah, man, I hope they fix their stuff, because I love seeing 3 competitors minimum. Like, I love uncomfortable pyramids, man. You know, it's like 3 kids in a schoolyard. They can't all 3 be friends all the time. There's those 2 that stay late after school and they talk bad about the 3rd one, and then the 3rd one tries to befriend. I like that. I like where nobody knows that everybody's... And Switch is doing great at offering whatever they're doing. You know, you look at Switch 2 sometimes and you're like, dude, I have no clue. Like, are they in the same universe? And it works well for them. We do have a super chat. Spanky Steve, $10 super chat. What's your favorite moment in gaming that blends music and visuals to create something memorable? My example is stepping into Limgrave for the very first time in Elden Ring. Mine is Hellblade 2, the boss against the fire boss, and the music that beats out at the exact same time. So easily one of the best musical experiences I've ever had. What about you guys? Any amazing musical experiences where you really like the song and it mixed with the experience?
Into a tank in Halo, and it goes heroic.
Yeah,
it makes you powerful.
And the guys are all, he's here to save us. It's such a little bit of environmental storytelling when some random and you're going to run him over. Right? Like, let's be honest, that guy's dying for sure. But as he's dying, he's like, thank you for splat. And you're like, you bet, I'm here.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Anybody else got one? Go for it.
Straight away, Near Automata had lots of really good moments like that. They had like, I think, I learned this from you, but I think it's called diegetic.
Yeah.
So it's like mixed with what people are doing in the scene. Like the robots start singing like,
this cannot continue. This cannot continue.
The robots, this cannot continue, and becomes a song.
Yeah.
Genius, right? And a lot of those songs so memorable. And then with the art style and everything you're seeing, like, I still remember that theme park you go to.
Yes.
It's got that super memorable track. And then, you know, you're fighting this opera boss later. It's just that, lots of really good moments with music and visuals.
Forever. I will remember those. Yeah. Anybody else?
Yeah.
My ones, I've got, like, off the top of my head, quite a few. Like, most moments in Death Stranding have this. Have that connection of music and like a visual, like a vista or something like that. That's always really, nice. I always distinctly remember the end of, and I don't know how Ace is going to feel about this being a Final Fantasy fan, but Final Fantasy 15, there is a moment at the end of that where the music coalesces around something that's happening on screen that was always impressive to me. And like distinctly memorable as well. And I'm trying to think of some others. I had one other that was there, but the last level of Super Mario Odyssey.
Oh,
where it's that kind of Mario celebration level.
Yeah,
and it's Jump Up Superstar. Like that's a really like cool moment.
Forgot about that one. Anybody else? Asa, Demon, Greg?
I like the ashtray maze in Control. When Take Control starts playing Gods of Asgard.
Yeah, Alan Wake 2 as well. I forgot
that was epic.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Maybe Halo already, but there's the music levels on Rayman Legends as well.
Mm.
Man, it's been so long since I played that. What was it about them?
The first one's Black Betty. It just it turns the game from a platformer into an almost rhythm game because it's fast and you play to the beat.
Oh,
it works really well, and I hope that they keep those because Rayman, the remaster or remake of it, comes out in like a month or so. So hopefully they keep those and keep them good.
Demon?
I do think that Hi-Fi Rush had like good bosses with music paired together. That's something I liked a lot about that game.
Jonny, do you remember the game I had Takedown play and there was the boss that played the violin, and she shot you with like the sound waves of the violin? It was back in the time frame of like Somerville and
yeah, but I don't remember which game that was.
Man, that was a good one too. I love, dude, I can talk about music and games for hours, so I'm not gonna, but yeah, that's like those moments. I don't care what anybody says, man. If you turn the music off in a game, I don't like you. I just don't like you as a person. Like the amount of experience you get when that comes together. Alan Wake 1's one of the best experiences when they're doing the heavy metal concert and you're fighting off enemies. And I was just like, this is exactly what a game, if you're going to interact, it doesn't just need to be the graphics. It can be the sound. It can be a voice. It can be a environmentals. And there's something that's just so awe-inspiring. And you don't even need good. I always tell people, do I need super earphones? No. You just need to hear it because it's the beat a lot of times. Like Hellblade 2. I mean, that is one of the most fantastic parts. I think God of War. What is it just called? God of War? Not Ragnarok. The first one. Is it God of War?
Yeah, just God of War.
Just God of War, right? Okay, yeah. God of War, I thought, had some really good moments, too. Yeah, those are awesome. Reading some of the chats in here, Legends Music's levels were fire. Somebody agrees with Asa for once. Wow. Journey had great OST. Oh, Abzu was the other one. Abzu. So good. Yep. Journey and Abzu. South of Midnight Music reacts a little to your movement and describes the world and events and story. Yeah, that game, its music was so eclectic that I think you had to really be into that style of music, and it took me a long time because that is some of the types of music that I find a little like hard on the ears. But yeah, that was really good. See, there we go with a game Microsoft did that's like not exactly what you would expect, you know. I wish that would have got more success. Streaming Dreams community made games will always be peak musical moments. Dreams, that's the PlayStation. What was Dreams? That was the PlayStation Make Your Own.
PlayStation, yeah.
Yeah, because Spark was Xbox, right? And Dreams. Okay, gotcha. And then I have, I did get a super chat telegram here real quick that I do want to read because this is a big super chat. And if it was a small one, I'd be like, who cares? I'm just joking. Karak, Doc Spock here. Your HUDless gaming videos changed the way I play. I got through Primal, 2 Far Cries, and I'm now picking and choosing games to go through again. Thanks for the series. Here's $50. You just made me spend another $50 on old games, but what the hell? They don't feel old when you're going in truly blind. Hey, whatever I can do to help. But yeah, playing a game without a HUD is fantastic. As long as it gives you all the options. I'm glad somebody actually enjoyed those, but we've found a couple that do not work without a HUD. I think, what was it, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where if you turn all the HUD off, the A button doesn't work to pick things up.
Yeah, you couldn't even interact.
So like, Ubisoft, you're the ones who got me into the no HUD stuff. Like, think about it. Yeah. What were we going to say, Jonny?
And some games don't do a great job of like giving you the information you need without HUD elements. Like I was playing Black Flag without anything. And when your objective changes, it doesn't tell you what you're supposed to do next. You have to open up the map, go to your quest log, and then you can see it. But that's pretty painful, you know, like bring up the map, and sometimes that's not opening for some reason. And even if you want to see like where to go, generally, you need to open up the map, right? And sometimes you kind of get lost. So I like what they try to do. They show you like a glow around the objective. But if you're far enough away, you won't see it. So it's not fully there. We always talk about Ghost with the wind. That was a great system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we need kind of that sort of like long distance guidance thing that can point you in the right direction.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the wind thing was one of the best.
Yeah, it was just too good.
That sort of hit me right where I needed for a no HUD kind of gameplay. But I don't know how easy it is to do it. You could do bird sounds or something. You could do, something with sound.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. But it's very difficult to do it right. And then you'd be playing Ghost and be like, this is Tornado Alley. Because everything would be moving in the wind. When you were playing Ghost after a while, you're like, damn, man.
The amount of leaves in the air in that game.
They love their particles, man. The guy who was coding particles was like, it's my time to shine, everybody. He just wrote it. It was, but fantastic at the same time. I think Horizon Zero Dawn, there are parts that work well, but I think I had to do a mod. I can't remember if you can remove all the HUD in that one. But you are right on the changing of, if it changes the whatever opportunity opens and you have to go to a different place, you are sort of, stuck trying to figure out exactly what to do. But every game's got a nom vision of some kind, like Mafia 3 with nom vision. He's like, I went to nom, that's why I can see people behind doors. So you can add something to anything. I would love to see more
I really believe an easy solution to that problem is having a much snappier menu, because these games like AC, dude, like sometimes it doesn't even work. Like when you press the map button, it doesn't open. I don't know if it's a bug or what in my game. So I have to go into the main menu first, and then from there, slide to the map tab. So those are now 2 interactions just to get to the map thing. And it's slow. It's kind of like winding up the menu instead of... So maybe if there's a quick version of the menu that's not even full screen, just kind of like jumps, so you can quickly see and then put it away. That could be pretty good workaround.
Yeah, they're a first-time YouTuber with too much fade in every one of their videos. Like every one of their menus fades in. You go to play Division and you hit a button and it's like, bang, and you're like, dude, seriously? I'm in a firefight? Can we just let it pop up right there? And we do see a lot of games that I think Harry Potter. Do you remember if Harry Potter was a quick? I feel like I didn't fight Harry Potter, but maybe it's because you didn't switch out much.
The biggest problem was the cursor, because you had to do everything.
Was it soft?
Not everything. A lot of stuff was with the cursor. Yeah, pretty slow.
Virtual mouse cursors are one of the worst. Sorry. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people like them for whatever reason, but a lot of people like some weird shit. Yeah, I hate them. Does anybody have any? So we talk about no HUD a lot, and Asa has been on and talked about it. Do you guys ever? Any of you other three though? Do you guys ever do? Do you turn the HUD off in a game? Do you? What like? Is there a game that you remember doing it in, or go for it?
I did it quite recently, actually. I did it, funnily enough, on Black Flag, but it just doesn't. And it's such a shame because that's such an incredible looking game.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, a pirate adventure seems like it would be perfect to have a no HUD run on, but it just doesn't work because your immersion is broken the minute you have to open a big ass Ubisoft menu that's really clunky anyway. I did it on Halo Campaign Evolved the other day. Again, super cool seeing that. Like that's sidebar, like a really impressive looking game.
Very.
And it mostly works, I would say, because it's obviously fairly linear, but still some issues. So yeah, those are the recent. Oh, and I did it on Revelations as well, the Dark Ages DLC, and that is pretty good, I would say, for it. But again, there's always some like weird compromise that you have to make, and there's very few games I've found where it's, just perfect, and they've thought about having someone turning the HUD off. I mean, most games, most of the time, I really despise games that don't allow you to customize your HUD or turn it off entirely, because sometimes I just want to look at it, I just want to, I don't even need to play through the game. I just want to actually enjoy without the visual clutter on screen. So,
hey, Johnny, a little bit of science for you. 1/8 of the people who get Alzheimer's, it's an eighth of the percent of people who get Alzheimer's are taxi drivers or people who have to deal with dynamic HUDs, like dynamic driving, understanding spatial awareness. They just don't get it. I think they were saying normal is like 1 out of 40, and they're like at 1 out of 8 or 1. So the percentage is wrong. Sorry, but it's super low, and it's all because of like they think the hypothalamus and like figuring out different things, and it
just
keeps
engages your brain.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's like keeping the prostate. You got to keep it healthy. Got to use it. Hypothalamus. Got to
use
get
it
in
or
there.
lose it.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you just got to masturbate your mind. That's what I say. Asa
Beautiful.
and no HUD. When was the last game?
Oh, no HUD, right.
Masturbation. Asa, go. No, I'm just joking.
No, I don't. I like a game that's designed not to have a HUD, and I like a minimal HUD, and I like Elden Ring, things like that. Do it very well, where the HUD's dynamic and it will come in where it makes sense for it to be there, but most of the time it disappears unless you take it all in. I'm less inclined to remove it in a game that's not really been designed for it to not function, like your Black Flag example, where things are like. Actually, it's a bit obtuse now, and I need to look at information that I'm not being given. So yeah, I love no HUD. I used to get really upset. I think it was Halo 5 upset me the most because the visor was just obnoxious to me. I don't want to see that on the screen. I want to see the world. Yeah, that's me.
Craig?
I've never given it a second thought. I'm not bothered. I just play it as it comes. Clutter. Yeah, why not? Yeah. I've spent a lot of time playing Roblox with the daughter when she was little. Not so much anymore. She's grown out of it. So you get used to cluttered UIs and things not working. And yeah.
No, I can see it not mattering to a lot of people. I mean, I think a lot of people don't even think about turning it off either. In fact, a lot of people turn it all on. I'll watch a friend play like an Assassin's Creed game and I'll be like, bro, that's just
do you need to see like
every
your
single
saliva
thing.
level? Yeah,
exactly. How dry is your throat, Demon? Do you do Doom with like minimal? Because I know you did Doom. You did both of the DLC, or you did the DLC in the main game, right? Of Doom, or did you not?
Yeah. I did play them. I play all the Doom games because I do love Doom, but I did not remove the HUD in Doom. I think I did it in Stalker. I like to be immersed. Like Doom, I don't want to be immersed in Doom. I just want to shoot demons. But in the survival, like apocalyptic world, like Stalker, or just an open world like Red Dead Redemption or Ghost of Yoti, Ghost of Tsushima, those I do want the HUD to go away sometimes, so I can appreciate the view. When I'm playing Doom, I don't want to appreciate the view. I just want to shoot demons.
All right,
so pretty.
Let's test your doomsmanship here. So my favorite way to play the new Dooms is make sure that you can't tell what of the bullets are reflective. So you go in and change their color so they all look the same, and you play it at the top speed. Is that what you do? Because I did the review and people lost their mind. They were like, "Is the game that fast?" And I was like, "No. That's just the way I like it. It still feels slow, but I love that thing maxed out, and then go in and adjust the shots that are reflective so they mimic the exact same colors the non-reflective ones. It is so fun, dude." It is, and
so remove any aid
whatsoever, and then crank the speed. And Void one time was watching me. He's like, "Dude, I can't even watch this on Discord. Like, I've no clue what's even happening right now." I'm like, "I'm telling you, it's not a good streaming experience, but as a old style, I'm a kid,
in the zone
experience. There, and then you go back and play it at normal speed.
It's like you had weights on or something.
Yeah, it's so great, man. It's so great. Let's see. What else we got for questions in the Discord, Johnny?
I did want to shout out, by the way, you used dectuple as a verb before, which is to make tenfold. Yeah. And I wanted to highlight that to the audience. I thought that was a very good addition to their vernacular.
To their lexicon. I better hear it used a lot then.
Take that onto your next real conversation chat.
Yeah, exactly.
Sully says, about a year ago, I got into 2D game development as a side hobby, personal project. Nice flex, by the way.
Yeah.
He goes on to say, it's given me a new appreciation for all games in general. A single dev and a multi-million-dollar AAA project might as well be different universes as far as budget, hats being worn, etc. Do you think the accelerated tech growth and improvements in game development has started to desensitize the general gamer and or reviewers to smaller studios? Or is it just simply a matter of preference Hope that makes sense and doesn't come off as presumptuous. Thank you. Yeah.
Anybody got an answer for that?
I guess I'm similar in that I'm also going on my own little development journey and seeing what it's like to do it as a one-man show, and finding out it feels very, very different to what I imagine it would be like to work as part of a massive team with your special area of focus.
Yeah.
To try and figure out everything all at once is wild. So congratulations on your little journey. I hope it's going well for you with your 2D game. It is a lot of fun. It is awesome to go through, and it is, for anyone that's sitting there thinking I'd like to do that, but I'm not sure about it. It is a fantastic time to do it, because I'm not saying go into like vibe coding everything, but generally having AI as a tutor to be able to go back and forth with and learn things is brilliant. It's so helpful for learning. So really good time to go and do it. Really good tools available for free to go and do it. Do recommend that. But in terms of like expectations, you're always going to get loud people with ridiculous expectations. There's always going to be that really entitled, really vocal group that looks at the work of one person and expects it to look like Hellblade 2 or something, and gets all pissy that it's not what they envision a game should be. Not that they can do better themselves or have any concept of what it means to do better themselves, but it's always going to be like that. I actually think the other way around is partly true. I think in some regards, a really big, really well-polished AAA game doesn't necessarily get the respect that it deserves. When you have a look at particularly like reviews that have scoring systems and things like that, and you look at the work that goes into something like Horizon Forbidden West or whatever, the lack of credit they get for the incredible kind of like motion capture and bells and whistles that you could not do as an indie studio is there as well. So in both directions, people piss and moan about things, and yeah.
I fully support that. Anybody else? Any thoughts on game dev? Or move on? No,
yeah, I think we take a lot of stuff for granted from big games, like Asa is saying, like games that look amazing graphically. People just say, well, it's a AAA game. They always do look great. But to me, I think it's great to continue to appreciate those things when you see some great graphics. But then on the other side too, when you see a smaller game and you can feel it's like, oh, this was a cohesive vision from maybe one person or a few people. That's also, I think, has a lot of it's compelling in and of itself in a way that the bigger projects are not. So I think there's like charm in both of those, but it's down to us to continue to appreciate those things and not take them for granted.
Yeah, I think that's why gaming's such a great art form, actually, because you get this, you get such a varied experience of budgets and creative vision and sort of aesthetic, that actually, I mean, if you're really into, like all of us are, if you're really into games, like it's brilliant, because you get these projects that are so diametrically opposed, but that kind of activate the same thing in your brain, which is like, oh, this is really interesting and this is really engaging. I think you play AAA games, and some of them are spectacular, some of them aren't, but you have the same thing happens at a single game dev level, right? Because ultimately it's just art, and whether it engages that element of your brain is very subjective. The one thing I do hate about modern gaming discourse, like going back to the AAA point, was and like people do take what these games do for granted, and like the amount of effort that goes into them, the amount of time, the amount of personnel. But also, I don't know, one of my biggest bugbears at the moment is when you see these comparisons of like, there'll be like Red Dead Redemption 2 versus Mafia the Old Country, and it will compare like the detail level, and there never seems to be any appreciation about how exorbitant the budget of a game is compared to another, and how many people work on it. So of course, like the details of Mafia the Old Country, a game made by a fraction of the developers in a fraction of the time of Rockstar isn't going to look as good. So I think my wish is like people are just more educated about game development and how it works and how difficult it is, and how impressive it is what we get nowadays kind of day to day.
Yeah. Demon or Craig, you guys got anything to add to this?
I do appreciate like all the games, even the small ones, even the buggy ones, because I know how, like as a software developer, I know that it takes a lot to make even like the buggiest game, not just it's and for like small and big games, like big games, not just from art form or developer form, like it takes a lot to organize people and get them to work together in AAA games. People that maybe did not work in organizations or did not work did not see any code in their life, they don't know how much it takes to do anything. Yeah.
Craig?
No, I ain't got anything to add. I don't want to stick my nose into something I know nothing about.
Well, I'm sure you've had somebody come in and try to tell you that they know how to fix their car. And you're like, dude.
Yeah, we've got signs up for that.
Oh,
yeah.
Do you?
There's a sign in the office says, well, if you've had a go and you haven't told us, our labour rate's double now.
Hey,
that
there
kind
you
of
go.
thing.
Yeah, there you go. So they don't say it's not working and you open it up and they've done like 50 hours of repairs on it with JB Weld. And you're like, come on, guys. So as a reviewer, I can say, I don't really know if the percentage has gone up or down. I think the number has gone up and down, so the percentage is louder and you experience it more often. The number of people that I see that watch a walk in the walk video I do, where I talk about like the like what they did in Valhalla to make it feel like a world or what have you, is directly offset by the number of people who are like, I can't believe you're doing this if you didn't like the game. You're like, dude, you don't understand. They're different things. I think when you look at games ultimately now, I'm pretty impressed by the engine tech itself as somebody who's worked on engines, and especially when I was starting to do mods and voiceovers, I was like, oh my God, working on something like Neverwinter Nights #1 or whatever, and somebody's like, hey, do you want to do voiceovers? And you're hacking shit together to try to get your voice into it. It was a disaster. And now you have like Unreal, and admittedly Unreal has its issues, but we've never been at a time when it's easier to get in and see if you want to do anything. And when I was growing up, you couldn't even do that because you were making your engine most likely. And that required a completely different level of really technical experience. We saw it with John Romero and John Carmack, where they came at it from, one was good at levels and sort of atmosphere and design. The other one was good with this, and it caused issues because it wasn't one person. But yeah, I would agree with the art thing too. I just don't care really at all how many people make the game, because I'm reviewing it for what I paid, because I do buy the game. So if the game costs $60, I'm not going to believe, number one, somebody who tells me a certain number of people worked on it. We just saw that recently with Jeff Keighley fucking up a couple times during the Game Awards. This is an indie game, and they're like, we're not an indie company. What are you talking about? Like, and that's one of the premier people who know the most. This is not bashing on Jeff. Anybody can make that discussion and problem. The Ascent devs having to correct everybody when people are like, there's only 30 people working, and they're like, we have 250 contractors. What are you guys even talking about? Why are we talking about this? So the number of people who worked on it is cool to talk about in a podcast, but when it comes to the game, it's a game. A lot of times if I go and see
speaks for itself.
Well, yeah, and I go to look at a painting, I can't tell if one person did one part, one person did another. That'd be rare, but it could happen. You just have no clue. And I think that gets into the weeds of something that's far beyond a reviewer and more around a social, maybe an influencer or a social signaler, where it's like, we want to talk about the industry, which is absolutely vital. But Joe Blow, who's going to spend $60, probably doesn't care or wants to know if the game's fun. Mm-hmm. They care if the game's fun because they don't have the money or the mental bandwidth to worry about every company. And I think that's one thing we have gotten the weeds really bad, which is worrying about, it's not even empathy, but it's like trying to investigate or worry about every little thing about a game being made. And then when the game comes out, it's almost like people have burnt their emotion out and they're not as emotional about the game. So that's either super great or super terrible, and then the middle ground gets missed. And my personal favorite games are the middle ground. The number of AA games I like, Vampire or Banishers the games that don't get a lot of talk aren't a AAA and they're not an indie. And so even companies I talk to don't want to cover them, like journalistic companies. They're like, oh, nobody's going to really care about how Vampire was made. And I'm like, I don't know if you're right. I feel like a lot of people would like to know. I feel like it's a self-fulfilling prophecy in that. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of sad.
I think that's why price is a good like barometer of what to expect from a game, because if you pay $40 for a game, you have a different expectation than if you paid 20. And
it is in a
there's
way.
variance
It's one
there.
way. Yeah, there's variance there. It's one way. But I have a question.
But it gives you a good
a good idea. I have a question for you. Dude, this came up. I have a question for all of us. This came up last night in our Discord podcast that I thought was awesome. What's your flick away the money just to get it level? What's the cash amount that you look at something and you're like, I'm just going to buy this? And we were trying to figure out if it's 20 for the majority of people in our Discord. It felt like it was 15's weird. I'm sure you guys saw the article where the guy was explaining, and Rory Sutherland explains this even better, but where $3 is $5, a human doesn't work like that. One of the greatest discussions I saw was about that. But we were thinking like $20 is where I'll give something a ton of leeway. $10 I'll probably just buy it. But is there a price point for you guys where, like, let's say a game's on sale that you know isn't great, but you sort of are interested, or there's a new game and you just see it flash up and you look at the price, it says blank amounts of dollars, and you just sort of take the leap? Is there a leap of faith amount for any of you guys?
Really low for me. It's like £3.50, like $5.
$5. Okay. So that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Anybody else?
I would
mine
buy
ain't
any
60,
game for
right?
$5.
Any game, Gollum? Would you buy Gollum? Would you buy? I've reviewed some
$5,
shit
yeah.
games, man. Are you sure? Because I got a list of games here that I would definitely assume you wouldn't buy for $5. I'm just joking. That's rude. I know somebody put their heart and soul into Gollum, so you just can't find it. Anybody else? 5, 10? Anybody higher?
for me, it's the big 50%. When you see like 50% off.
Oh,
if it's a game I've ever wanted to dig into,
right,
I'll probably buy it. Even if I'm just gonna play it later on, I'll probably buy it for 50% off.
Okay, so got a question. $100 game, 50% off is $50.
Yeah. I mean, you got me there. I'm counting on the fact that most games are like
60
maybe
to
60
70
full price.
Okay.
And then you're looking at 30. So, but yeah, once we start going to that territory of $100, it's gonna change things a lot.
What about you, Luke?
Yeah, I think I've been caught by like the $29.99 price.
Yeah.
A lot of times before. That's always been a level where I'm like, even if I'm not particularly interested in it, I'm like, like I've heard some decent enough things, like I'll go in at that price. So yeah, I think that's the one from memory that I would.
Funny how
often
that
get
still
caught.
works, right? The 99, like the 29.99, as opposed to 30.
Yeah, it just helps. Just gives you that little nudge towards the product. So yeah, I've been caught by that quite a few times.
Yeah, we were bringing up, what was it? It was probably about like 9 months ago that I'd heard some rumors. I also saw some of the discussion about it with some developers about the dynamic pricing that was coming, and now we're seeing that too. And the dynamic pricing it's pretty insidious, because I could see somebody listening to this podcast. Discord catches. I would say Discord sends my data to Google within 3 minutes now. Usually it feels like, or something we've talked about is in a Google search. Like I'll see something that we've never talked about before, but I mention it in the Discord chat, and I'm like, that's questionable. Dynamic purchases scare me, because like they hear Jonny say 50% off. Next time he goes to Google, he's got all the games that he's looked at on a wish list somewhere that are now all magically 50% off. Like there's some,
oh yeah, that's how they get you.
That's how they get you. Yeah. What were you saying, Asa?
Probably 70-80% is my number. Then I've changed my answer.
Yeah, the percentage. I think the percentage is good. The percentage is a good idea. I hadn't really thought.
You're
about
a bit
it.
of a cheapskate.
Really upsets me actually, because Sony do it. It's active and live and happening, and they keep offering me Astrobot for 29% off. And I know they're giving other people bigger discounts. I'm like, I was good to you, Sony. Why do you hate me? I'm not buying it for 29% off. Give me the good discount. And they won't. They never do. Every sale, 29% off.
What if they rounded it
It's
up to
personal at this
30?
point.
To 30. Yeah, what if they 29
Yeah,
they just keep raising it a little bit. 29.1. You're like, what the
32 today. So
yeah,
what do
yeah.
you say?
Personalized
breaking
pricing.
point. I don't know what it is yet.
You know what? I'm sure if it hasn't been made, somebody will vibe code an extension that allows for you to just look at what everybody, like a database of the price of the percentage people are getting off. And you just watch that. And you're like, okay, well, the highest percentage somebody got off is 32%. So I'm waiting for 33. I'm just going to keep searching it, looking like I'm looking for it, and try to feed this. I mean, I'm telling you, like one of the feeding your algorithms is not only one of the best ways to improve your life, but save some money. Because I feed mine. I literally have a bot do 150 searches in YouTube every morning of music and shit, so I don't see any of the bullshit. Nothing. So whenever I go into Google, there's nothing. YouTube, Google,
it's ready.
It's all like, let's listen to some Stellar Drone or some fucking, some dance beats and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, and I'll come into our chat and people are, did you see that email that, some Xbox head did? And I'm like, duh, I was listening to music all morning. I have no clue, because I'm not going to poison myself with like that. I have no issue with them. I mean, they happen. It's out there. Algorithms have been around for years, but I'm certainly going to use, any way to get out of them possible. So if anybody's listening, you want a vibe code, an extension for Chrome that doesn't steal my shit, I would appreciate it, because that would be a great, or a little website that just pops up and just says these people have officially reported, almost like it's like how long to beat, except real. But what were you saying, Jonny?
No, you would say, hey, you're being shafted. Other people are getting this for much cheaper.
Yeah. Not even a normal 10%. It's like, dude, they're lying to you. They're trying to get every cent you own. They want you poor. The big milk is holding you down.
You can get a picture of Alex Jones with the tinfoil.
With the tinfoil hat on. Do not buy at this price. What else do we got, Jonny, for questions in our Discord before I read? Because I have a ton in Telegram too. Let's
head back in there. Ginger Nips. Is Nips like, okay, let's move on from in your opinion, what would be a good compromise for the digital only future of games? In my opinion, if you could unredeem a game from your account and have it give you a code you could then resell or give to a friend, I think that would be a good middle ground, just a way to trade or sell games that you've bought. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it, right? I'm always curious how much of it is the ability to resell a game you have, or the thought that you can plug that in and play it without having to download anything.
Because they're two different things.
Those are different things. Or just having a physical thing on your shelf, again, a different thing. Like Asa said, maybe he's more likely to have that. I think people value different things, and they also value different things compared to what they say. So like the knee-jerk reaction might be to say, oh no, I want to be able to do this, but actually what matters to them deeply might be a completely different thing.
Yeah.
We see this all the time, what people say versus what they do.
Yeah. Anybody else got?
Some people also value the preservation aspect of leaving the game as its first original version when it came out. Like GTA games are good for that because of the music, because they do remove the music after a while. So yeah.
Oh, right. I see what you're saying.
I get that. Yeah, the licensing,
yeah.
Stuff like that.
Forza Horizon, a couple Forzas, right, have been removed because of licensing.
Tony Hawk's Paradise car game.
Burnout Revenge.
They have music in them.
Take me down.
Yeah, that had a lot of licensed. Yeah.
That was a perfect rendition, by the way. So if anybody assumed Guns N' Roses was on the channel,
that was the octave. That was the right octave.
Dude, I can't even. There's no way you could hit that. Any other thoughts on that? Any other what would you like to see in a digital? Like, what would be the the thing that would make it more palatable, I guess.
For me, I like the disc just because of that physical representation. Like when I'm looking at my shelf, when I pick up a game, I remember the time when I played that game.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think you can do that. Like I don't think you can. Well, you can look at it in like a screen, but that's not the same. We did discuss this. We did discuss something like this in the Gaming Arcadia podcast. We said, like, what if the Steam added the ability to sell games for people that want to resell their games? Something like they do with Marketplace, with Counter-Strike, selling skins. They give a percentage to the publisher. They give a percentage to Valve, and another percentage is to the person selling the game. That's if you look at it from the perspective of, I want to sell my games after.
I just want to point out something that you said, and then I want to see what Craig says. You said, I want to sell my game after. I want to sell my game after, which is ridiculous. Like, of course, you should be able to sell your game after. And there aren't that many markets that pay. I mean, at least that I know of, I go and I buy a used book. I'm not then giving $1 to the guy who originally published it in 1977. Like, that's, in gaming, it's very, we know that's what they want. But that, to me, that's almost more ridiculous than anything, that they just want to somehow have a part of the used sale market. It doesn't.
Yeah. Injecting themselves in the middle.
It has nothing to do with them. It doesn't even connect to them in that way. At that point, it's my item. I can break that item. I can do whatever I want with that disc. I can throw it at a kid's head like a ninja star. I can do whatever I want. But if you just want the positive from a sale, well, then you're just adding yourself in. It's such an odd way of doing things. It's even a weird discussion, because almost every industry I'm in, you resell, whether it be airsoft, whether it be, I mean, Craig, on used cars, there's nothing like this in used cars, is there? Am I missing something?
No, there's absolutely nothing. The manufacturers of cars try everything they can to get you to go back to them,
right?
Instead of coming to garages like us. Like, oh, we'll sell you a service plan, because once people have got the car and the warranty's expired, they're like, well, I'm not going to go pay £120 an hour there when I can go pay £60 an hour there.
Right.
So yeah, there's nothing like it. It's just something that seems exclusive to digital industry like gaming. But so with regards to what would be the middle ground, there's the middle ground that we want, which would be to have a marketplace to sell digital games, but that's never going to happen, because the reason that they want us all to be digital is to keep the grubby little hands on the secondhand market. They want it to not exist. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of even an industry. Music, you buy music from SoundCloud. Yeah, I mean, you can't really sell it to somebody, I guess. I don't know enough about SoundCloud to know. But, like, I don't know of another industry where you're uplifting some random group. We get all the negatives. It's like if they go away and they take the online server away, you've lost that. You know, if nobody's playing and they didn't put bots in there, you can't play it. And then they want money if you sell it. It's just like, dude, seriously? That's... What a great grift, man. Damn, I wish I had done more of that in my...
True.
Those guys figured out the grift, man. Yeah, it's such an odd... it's very weird. I would say my middle ground would be $10 to $20 cheaper day one. So digital would be... Most games, $69. I think some have gone to $70. I can't remember. But anyway, so yeah, I would say $20 cheaper for the just because I used to have to actually handle the shipping of games. I know how much CD burn costs, know how much the physical stuff. Used to be manuals. Remember those days? Remember the golden days of getting a giant manual? $20 off would be my 10 to 20 would be my middle ground. A good deal. And by the way, I don't want to see a sale number on that son of a bitch. I want it to say digital is $59, not you have a certain amount off. I mean, that is
Yeah.
locked in.
Cool.
That's
me
our flat
optimistic.
price
Yeah,
for
I do call you optimistic. He asked I'm not saying what I think will happen, but if that, I want to see that, you know, and I think that would be a nice way.
I have a vision. Okay. The vision is you get your box, right? Just like you do now. But instead of a disc, you have a golden square plaque that has a QR code on it. You scan that, you activate your game on your console, and you can like deactivate it if you want to sell it, right? So you could like deactivate, give that plaque to someone else, and they can go on and activate it on their account. But you have the beautiful golden plaque that's like, you know, unique to your unit, and you can keep that forever. Beautiful.
We are so off the reservation.
We are off.
That you
I'm
want
out,
a golden
I'm out to
plaque
lunch.
instead of the disc.
I'm out to lunch.
Can you imagine that? It's like, I want a golden plaque instead of the disc. Just do the disc, man. Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. What else we got for questions? Oh, by the way, I did get a question in Telegram. People wanted to know, because they haven't seen all of you guys on here. We'll start out with Demon. We'll go back around. What's an outside of video games passion you have? It can be music, writing, whatever. So Demon, like, what's something that you're into that has nothing to do, as little as possible to do with gaming? I'll change.
I used to love like going to the gym. I was addicted to going to the gym. I would say that, and cooking. I love cooking. I love trying new recipes like every week. That's something I love. I do love music, but I cannot play music. So yeah, those are my passion.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Most of us can't. Luke, what about you? Something outside of games.
I have a few, but probably the one that's prevalent kind of day to day is coffee. So I'm a really big coffee aficionado. So I have like, we got into the weeds of like get like my own grinder, and I have like an Italian machine, and I'm really into like the tools for like
you do the full
espresso.
thing, the full preparation, like
yeah, WDT. I do all of that. Yeah, and I spent like fucking like 2 years learning how to do latte art and stuff like that. So like I got really into the weeds of it. So probably that.
What happened to? Were you just like having shit coffee at work one day, and you were like, "I'm making my own"?
No, I think it was that I've always really enjoyed coffee, particularly going to cafes and getting like really great coffee and seeing baristas make that, and like the machines and the tools that they're using. I was just quite fascinated. And then I think when COVID happened and lockdown happened, I got my first like bean to cup machine. So an all-in-one. And the more I started going in, it's one of those things like, and it happens with like gaming as well, or like other hobbies. Like for some people, like you get, it's something, it like scratches something in your brain where you're like, I'm really interested in this. Like I really want to know more about this because I'm actually quite fascinated. And it just snowballed from there where I was like, okay, well, you know, I've had this bean to cup machine for a few years now. I think I'm ready for like my own, like a separate grinder, and like then what type of grinder do I get, and then like what machine do I get, and I've got to like learn how to like froth milk and stuff. And so yeah, and then you get into latte art, and like there's all of that stuff that comes out, and like how you extract the best shot, and there's all the tiny little science elements to it as well. So all of that just, that kind of one thing sparked all of this off.
If you came over to somebody's place and they offered you, let's say they didn't have any of this, right? And this is my question for anybody who likes highfalutin stuff like myself. There's a couple things. You get a styrofoam cup and some black coffee. Can you still, in any way, shape, or form, drink something like that? Or do you find yourself like now you're like, dude, I'm sorry, but I'm above that? I'm just joking, by the way. But I mean, do you?
I would well, mentally, I would think that, but I would do the British polite thing and be like, "Thank you very much," So yeah, I have noticed I start doing it at cafes now. So I'll go in and I'll be like, "What kind of machine have you got?" And then like, I won't say that, but I'll have a look and I'll be like, "Nah, well, let's get out of here."
What the hell? That's crazy. Okay, I never expected that.
And then
Love
like
it.
I'll have like sometimes I'll like see like I'll get a coffee and I'll sit down and like so I like cappuccinos or flat whites. That's kind of my thing. And I'll have a sip and I'll be like, no, that's sour. No, it's not very good. And I'll still finish it.
Sure.
But then I'll be like, I've often got in the is it better than my coffee comparison stage now? So that's how highly I think of myself.
Hey, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. What about you, Jonny? And it can't be music, just because.
Yeah, it can't be music.
Yeah.
Reading is awesome. I find it hard to do because nowadays your attention is going everywhere else, and we're all becoming restless. But I have a read at least 10 pages per day thing. So I'd say I'll read 10 pages that day. Sometimes I'll go more, but that really helps me. Just train the focus and discipline. Like, okay, we're gonna sit here and read these 10 pages. And it's really cool. Like sometimes I do fiction, like sci-fi, fantasy stuff. Other times I'm reading something that's interesting, that's nonfiction, something I want to learn about, or maybe some interesting self-help thing that has a cool angle I want to learn about.
Very cool. What about you, Craig?
Previously, it was calisthenics, bodyweight exercising, like scruffy gymnastics is what I always called it, because we're not as poised and elegant as gymnasts, but we try our best. But then I got a shoulder problem, so I've started ice skating now. And contrary to what Ace would tell you, I'm not bad at it either.
What did you immediately jump on and you were like, I sort of have the basics down? Or did you have any head crushing injuries?
No, I've fallen over a few times to the point that I bought some pads because I thought, well, I can't afford to take time off work if I break my wrist. So yeah, I need some pads. But yeah, it's I was all right at it. I've skated before, but not in any great capacity. And I used to rollerblade when I was younger, like inline skates. So I could at least stay upright. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm getting pretty good.
Man,
I found I could do something that's that my friend who's been teaching me stuff, I could do something he couldn't. So that was a proud moment as well.
And then you invite him all the time. If you do it better than them,
you're
like, bro.
yeah. Hey, watch this. Watch this. Although
triple pirouette. Watch this.
I said, watch this, and then proceeded to fall straight over when I said that. So that was, that one my comeuppance for that.
Do you find when you chose when you did get into it, do you watch like Olympics, or did you find yourself being actually attracted to the sport itself outside, like those high levels?
To be fair, it's nothing to do with that. It was my daughter. She decided that she wanted to ice skate. So
gotcha.
This is the hobby that she chose for herself. And she's picked it up really quickly. And I would just go and sit and watch her do a lesson and then watch her skate for 3 hours while I'd sit and listen to a podcast or listen to an audiobook. I'm like, what am I doing? Why don't I just buy some skates and get on the ice? So I did. And yeah, it's good. I'm glad I did. I'm enjoying it.
What am I doing? I just bought some ice skates is like the starting of every YouTube compilation failure video of all time. What am I doing? I might as well just buy some skates as a 35-year-old man. Snap! What about you, Asa? Come on. And it can't be martial arts because we got that from you last time.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're not going to let you cheat. We're not going to let you cheat.
I mean, I like to kick people. I like it when people kick me. And I don't know, I go to the gym a lot. What else have I got? I don't have much else. I do martial arts all the time and I do video games all the time.
Do you
Third
read?
hobby, that's too many hobbies. No one can have three.
Do you read?
I don't read.
You don't read? Do you do comics?
I don't. I read, do you paint? At one point, I read can't paint. I read like half of the first of the Lord of the Rings books and I got really bored of the way that it would just keep describing oak trees to me. Put it down and didn't go back.
Yeah.
So.
What martial arts do you do?
Taekwondo I've done for 20-something years. So
nice.
A lot of that. Mm.
My wife just got a black belt.
I learned some other ones over time, but.
What were we saying, Demon?
You used to do swimming, right? Right, so you used to do swimming as well.
I go swimming with the family, but that's not like a big passion or a hobby. Really.
Okay. Yeah.
I like the idea, though, of you going swimming with family and leaving them and just being like, swimming away. Be like, you got to get back, buddy.
Unfortunately, it's a pool. They can catch up.
Oh, damn it. Let's see. Mine, I teach martial arts. Let's see. What is something that we haven't talked about? I'm a one-note man. I got nothing.
No, you got a bunch. You got Airsoft.
Yeah, but we've talked about all those Airsoft.
Yeah.
I love myself some
DMT.
master classes, man. DMT,
Yeah, those are
is that what
great.
you said?
D&D.
Oh, D&D. I thought you said
Okay.
DMT. I'm like, what the? I'm the one person
Very
in the
different
world
journeys.
who isn't Joe Roganing that. Yeah, I don't
Hey,
really.
bro, have you
Oh,
tried,
dude. What?
bro?
Oh, bro. Dude, that guy, you could turn an ice skating be like, yeah, man, so I learned how to skate.
Doesn't matter
and
who's
Joe will
on
be
there.
like, hey, man, have you ever tried DMT while
He'll
you're
bring
skating?
it up.
Like, Joe, shut up. Jesus, man. He's made Chads feel like an awesome thing. He's so mega Chad. He's so mega bro now. You're like, come on, man. No, I can say my youthful indiscretions continue, but I have found myself actually doing like house stuff that when my dad would be like, hey, let's build a new deck. And I'd be like, listen, bro, there's few things in the world less that I want to do than to build a deck. Less. Like,
True.
maybe I might actually decide on a lesser cancer again than a deck. I just wasn't that physical building stuff when I was a kid. But I've definitely got into it now, like some stuff on the house. It's nice to have a house because, well, it sucks. You can't call a landlord and say, come fix my shit, but you can fix it poorly yourself, which I have done. I have made many a home repair that is horrendous and been really proud about it. And my idea of what the
Does
home
your
repair
wife
would
ever
look-
judge you? Sorry, I was just
Verbally or
imagining your
silently?
wife like looking at it like, all right, I guess that will do.
Man, I would say probably for sure. I've done some things that I'm really proud of, and I've done some stuff where I'm like, that is a fire, drowning somehow, and electricity. Like that is just a warning sign for anybody to come outside. Like this is a bad thing that I did. But
Because
my
I know I've
brain
done
has shown me cool.
I've done the
stuff.
baby version of that, which is like put together a shelf, and it looked completely awful, and it's just like it's not supposed to look that way, and there's no turning back, because like you drilled some stuff, and like that's it, you're living with that.
Yeah, no shelves and stuff. I can. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can get them together. I don't really.
I've come along. I can do shelves now.
Yeah, shelves are pretty cool.
I'm
But
just saying-
this isn't all about you, Johnny. I was answering my question,
True.
but I appreciate you just jumping in. I'm just joking. Yeah, we've talked about this a ton of times. What about the like Maserati Kakatu name for the shelves that you can get at like an IKEA? Do you do those? I do the cheap ass Fred Meyer that's like shelf A, shelf B. I don't go to like the IKEA and get the specialized, I don't even know the names of them, but you get those ones that have the like highfalutin, super long names. I'm not doing that kind of stuff. I'm also a person that if it's gonna hold shit, it doesn't need to look good. If the
I've
shelf
tried to
is
move
brown,
away from
good enough.
IKEA because I feel like their stuff is so identifiable that now
that's fair.
I try to get something that looks a little bit more, not even unique, just not IKEA, because everybody has that one coffee table from IKEA kind of thing.
The Chardonnay or whatever they call them. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been asked to talk a little bit about Gears beta. Has anybody jumped into the Gears of War? What is it? 0 day? Is that what this is called? E-Day.
E-Day.
Anybody jumped in?
I know
I
that
did
Luke
try
has,
it
so
a
he's
bit.
he's not speaking up.
Okay, Demon tried it a
Yeah,
bit. And
Yeah. So yeah, I did not play it a lot. I did play the onboarding mission. It's a very demanding game. It took everything from my 5090 to get around 60 FPS.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not a
yeah,
good
if you
look.
put it on the highest setting, but the highest settings, I think they are future proofing.
Sure.
It's something like an Optimium or something like that from
Ludicrous.
Avatar. Yeah, ludicrous.
Ludicrous.
So so my first impressions were not really good, not because of the performance, because I connected to a game, I had a team, and then they just disconnected, so I was left with bots, and the bots were were a bit useless. So I do need to play it more. maybe with friends and all, just to get a better feeling of it, because I think it's more enjoyable with friends.
Yeah. But that's really just rating your friends, not the game. Right? Like, I'm sorry, but Better with Friends, that's why we called the podcast as a joke, Better with Friends, because it's like all you're doing is rating your friends. You're not even rating the game at that point. You're like, anything is better with friends. You know, well,
it's just a platform to hang out with your friends.
Yeah, pretty much. Anybody else play it at all? Have we all not?
Yeah,
what'd you think?
I wasn't even aware.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. The bit that I played.
This reactions are weird.
Yeah. But I mean, I should preface that by saying I'm a huge Gears fan, but I'm really not a Gears multiplayer fan at all.
Fair.
So I think that's probably useful context. And I think like I've only played this Horde Siege mode like 3 times. I think I've had 3 matches. And it was okay. Like it was enjoyable in the sense of it's Gears Horde Siege, but bigger map, multiple teams. There's some more interesting kind of dynamic stuff that happens, but I'm just not a huge, I just wasn't super vibing with it. I do like the way that it feels now, though. The kind of new movement of the game is really interesting, and it was quite jarring actually to play it and to be able to like sprint and not have a roadie run in a Gears game. That was interesting. So I really did like that. But yeah, and echo what Demon Hunter said as well, which is that it's very demanding, but it's a beta. So, also, the HDR is terrible. The implementation is terrible.
Really?
I have a real bugbear for bad HDR implementation, so I need to say that. They need to fix that before launch.
Yeah, I feel like, we'll see. HDR is coming. The number of titles that have bad HDR is far higher than the ones that have good HDR. I feel
completely agreed. Completely agreed.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, the only saving grace on PC is that there are a vast community of really great modders that can fix it pretty quickly. So that's it. But yeah, I can count on
everything I've seen of this Gears of War has been grey though. Like you can't really HDR a tone of grey. You can have it be brighter, like a brighter tone of grey, a more specular grey.
I think the maps that are set at night are look actually better. They have some colors to them.
Yeah.
HDR is just weird because it's very hard to sell. If you haven't, like, I've had many a friend who come over and I'm like, this is HDR set. And they'll be like, I can tell something. And then they go home and call me. They'll be like, holy shit, I just saw my TV. Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. I'm like, yeah, because was my job prior to doing YouTube was, I mean, we were testing HDR. We were like looking at like how these sets are going to work. And then you're looking at all the different technologies. And for 5-6 years, no technology was able to do it all anyway. There were all these issues, whether it be latencies or whether it be brightness on one set or whatever. And I think a lot of people just honestly got burned out too on trying. There's so many comparisons too, that a person can get really burned out if they're like, I just want an HDR TV, dude. So they're just buying the HDR. Does it say it does HDR? And you're like, well, yeah, but it's 300. Like that's like SDR plus. It's not HDR.
Yeah, it's 400 nits.
So yeah, really 400 nits is ridiculous. By the way, also terrible name. Sorry. Nits reminds me of like lice. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but I remember working and they were like, we've got this new technology. It's HDR. And I was like, you're doing lumens or something, right? Or you're coming up with a new name. And they're like, no, we're going to do nits. And I was like, yeah. It's distasteful already. I don't like the description of this.
It's really hard to get into too because you have so many different types of panels. Not every HDR panel is born equal. Yep. And like you might think it's HDR ready, or it might say that, but then you see it's like whatever HDR 10 or I don't remember. Like there's like a sub panel that didn't look very good or wasn't really equipped for HDR really, or the brightness is too low. Hard to get into.
And the latency is pretty. I had a really good HDR, and its one weakness was latency, and it wasn't terrible. It wasn't like an old like airborne assault or what was it? Medal of Honor Airborne on the 360 had 140 millisecond latency in the game. Wasn't that bad. Like, that was ridiculous that we were accustomed to playing that. But it added on top of everything else. And every single thing you plug that into is going to add, 1 millisecond's fine. But if you add it into the back of a receiver that isn't really prepared, you can end up adding a ton of latency super fast. But you might have a good picture. And it sucks, man. It sucks for the consumer. I mean, there's a ton of ways they could have handled it, but they can't even figure out what HDMI means. Each year, there's the consortium is like, hey, and then you look at USB, and it's USB 4x4, AA, triple B, D version, and you're like, there's so many different connectors and dual, DisplayPort. There's so many different connectors now that it's very difficult for a normal consumer to even know what they're buying. So they usually go to Artings or something. And yeah, I guess that works for the general part. I'm not a huge fan of them, but, well, no, I am. I take that back. I am. They're just very numbers based. And sometimes it depends on, like, if those numbers are going to matter in a dark room or a bright room. Because a lot of my friends will buy a TV and they'll be like, dude, this thing looked amazing. And I was like, oh, where'd you test it? In a super dark room, underground, in a nuclear bunker. And I'm like, well, that's not going to look the same if you have 6 lights on in your house and your back window open. It's going to absolutely
You just see yourself on the screen, like trying to watch a movie.
Oh, dude, I've done that, where I've been like, what am I seeing?
Haunting.
And then I see a beanie and I'll be like, it's me. What the hell? A bum named Walt. What's up, Walt? Thanks for the warm welcome to the Discord, guys. It's really been fun. Have a great weekend. Yeah, I'm glad you jumped into the special Discord chat. If you get a chance, though, talk, dude. Your mouth, not just typing. You can turn on that mic, man, and talk. We will completely aggressively take over the chat in Discord if you don't talk on your own. So you got to jump in there, and you got to, if we're doing a group get together, bring it up, because you guys are the ones that a lot of your guys' ideas are what drive the podcast. So we have great groups in there. You guys come up with some really smart shit. So one of the reasons why Discord, we were talking prior to the podcast, is so great, but it also sucks because that data is gone. We've had so many amazing discussions in Discord, and it dawned on me it's not out there for other people to, like, it's not easy for me to say, oh, this is a discussion we had. That's all you can say. You can't really show them tangible proof of a discussion like you could from a NeoGAF forum or something. Admittedly, not the best example on my part. Spanky Steve, $10 super chat. I have a follow-up question that I've asked around and haven't got a solid answer. Do you guys think the Steam Machine is... Do you guys think the Steam Machine is worth it for someone who has exclusively played PlayStation? My answer.
We do have a person here.
So there is so subjective how valuable it is to you. So.
We have a person here who owns one. Demon, what would you say?
Yeah, I do have one. It's really hard to answer. Like, if you don't use the PC, if you don't care about the size of it, and you don't care about the PC parts of it, there's no reason to get it, I would say. Yeah, it's very hard to say. I would say if you want a machine just to play video games, just get PlayStation is enough, I would say, or Xbox or any other console. Unless you have a really, really good reason, like you want to get into mods, or you want PC VR and you have a Quest, or you want to get into emulation, then you will look into like maybe a Steam machine, and then you need to compare it to other PCs and see if it makes sense.
Anybody else have anything to add about Steam machines being worth it? Worth anything at all? Even a single dollar?
Or any damn thing?
Yeah, I think if they'd if we were 10 years ago and they'd come out at a different price, then I would highly recommend one. But I think it's almost impossible.
Those are some big ifs, though. It's like...
Yeah, they do require a lot of...
caveats, I guess.
A lot of caveats,
Yeah, especially coming from PlayStation. If all of your games are currently in your like PlayStation collection, I really don't see the incentive. I think really it's for people that like have a big Steam library, and maybe they want to have a machine they can play stuff on in another room, maybe just hook something to the TV that isn't the PC kind of thing, and more like convenience there.
Yeah. So Spanky Steve, like reframe the question. Like you specifically want to achieve something with it. Is it valid for what you want to do with it? Because otherwise, the fact that you got a PlayStation doesn't kind of sell the story of why you would be interested in a Steam machine and whether it's a good answer for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig, do you have a Steam machine? Do you have PC or are you console?
PC in October last year. Managed to get in just before the Rampocalypse.
Feels good,
happened.
doesn't it?
Yeah,
Feels
it
good.
did, to be fair.
I redid all the RAM in all 5 PCs. And by the way, that might sound like I have a ton of money. It wasn't. They're like little mini PCs in some places, and then the one main one, and then the testing one. And it felt really good, dude. It felt really good getting in early because I bought it all, and then it was like weeks later when you started seeing the prices, and you're like, bro, this is getting crazy. Yeah, it's nuts, man. I mean, like now I don't even know what they are. They're up, what, 250% or something? I mean, it's to the NVMEs are higher. Everything is more, anything with any kind of chip is more expensive other than controllers. I'm still waiting because I know the one I have does have RAM on it or memory. And I'm just waiting for that moment when like the Vader rises, $150 because they just decide that that's what they're going to charge us. It's going to be expensive as hell. Speaking of that, we're also getting a question about controllers. Do you guys, anybody have a special controller? Their favorite controller? A controller they're using now that they would suggest for others? There's always in our Discord people looking for a controller. Probably because they have the PS5's shitty battery controller and they're trying to replace it. I'm just joking. I have no clue. Is there any that you guys love or use? Go for it.
I always recommend the GameSir G7 Pro.
Okay.
That's what I've got, yeah.
What's the battery life on that?
I mean, I dock it every time I'm done with it, so I've never run it out. I have no idea how long it'll last, yeah.
I do like my Steam controller, but my use case is very niche. Like, I like the feel of it, and I like... So I'm a PC, like a mouse and keyboard player, and I don't like the movements of the camera, slow movements of the camera when you move the joystick. So I like to use like the trackpad on it. Mm-hmm. That's mainly how I use it.
Big jump from the original Steam controller?
I did not have the original one. So
I didn't either.
I cannot talk about it.
Me,
I had the original one. So... Used it once, never again.
This one is function? This one works?
Functional, yeah.
The first Steam controller, one-time use.
No. Dude. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate. I definitely am nowhere near a Valve lover, but I do, when I look at like the Steam machine or the Steam controller, they have some good ideas, but wow, the timing just sucked for them. It just sucked. Well, nothing against them. I mean, there was some, power-wise, it is what it is, but it really depresses me that less than a year ago, I was like, dude, it is crazy. You can buy a mini PC, a handheld, plug it into... USB hard drives, run a baby server off of that thing, grab it, run around, go do your stuff. And now I can't even suggest any handheld. I mean, they're ridiculous. The price of handhelds it doesn't even make sense to even have it in a discussion anymore. And we used to be so primed on that there were these options coming up. And Valve is known for that as well. And it's their second Steam machine. The first one sucked balls. Sorry. They let it die. And then you get this one, and for all intents and purposes, a passable machine. But the price makes it it just doesn't make sense, man. Like, we're all gonna be streaming.
Yeah, like the way they went about making it and choosing the components for it, I don't agree with them. Like they looked at the Steam hardware survey, and they said, it's above, let's target above 70% of people that play Steam games. Like, let's target that market. But most of those people that have a low-end PC, they're just playing Dota or Counter-Strike or those like multiplayer games, and they don't have a reason to upgrade to a Steam machine. So like they have a large portion of that 70%.
I see.
Just playing those games. And I don't like how they said like 4K gaming. That's just stupid. And I am a Valve fan. I would say that I am a Valve fan. Some ASAS calls me sometimes a Valve fanboy, but I'm not like someone that is blind to their to their decisions. I would say
consoles put 8K on the outside of the consoles before. Remember when they were and you're like, 8K at 1 frame per second. Anybody can do that. And the opposite goes into it too. I'm sure you guys have heard it. People are like, every game needs to be 60 FPS. I can't believe with the power of these consoles, they're not. And I'm like, you don't understand. A developer can make any game run at 1 FPS. It takes them 2 seconds to do it. They can just increase resolution, increase polygon count, not use LODs. You can't just assume this kind of stuff. So 8K on any kind of device is ridiculous. Until we get a hardware upscaler that's forced via the SDK for a developer, where it's like all output will just be, at 8K. I mean, Sony couldn't even get 1440p right for the longest period of time. So these companies I wouldn't trust anyway. But does anybody have a Switch 2 here, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, worth it for the current price?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Current price, yeah. I would say yes. For me, it was not very worth it because I don't use it a lot. I have a lot of other, I have my PC, Xbox, PlayStation. I go for them first before I go to my Switch. But I think in the current market, if you just want to play games, I think it's the easiest way in. It's the cheapest. I think
August might be your last chance ever to get a cheap console.
Yeah. Well, the utility, if you look at the utility of that device, it is higher. The ability to go handheld and plug it in.
Yeah.
That is a massive boon, even if it's not super powerful. And it is nice to see all these companies starting to aim for it, especially we were getting word that Ubisoft years ago now were looking into it, and Microsoft at the time with the whole we're going to be on everything. There were certain ideas that were coming out where you're like, wow, this could be pretty fantastic to see, all these games on the Switch too. And yeah, for right now, it's probably the cheapest. Luke, you said you had one as well. What's your selling point for it? I mean, especially somebody who has a PC and powerful, what's the selling point for, is it just the exclusivity or is it laying in bed?
Yeah, for me, I think for me, it's just the exclusivity element, because, even I wouldn't say their first maybe couple of years of this console has been necessarily as strong as the Switch 1 was in terms of if you think about some of the big releases they had. But then they still had, my game of the year last year was Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Oh, damn.
Which I thought was incredible. So, they've got that. They had Pocopia this year. I'm playing Splatoon Raiders at the minute, which is fantastic. So, I think for me, the selling point is the Nintendo exclusive stuff, and obviously the stuff to come from them, of which there'll be some really, really big stuff, including Ocarina this year. But I think it's different for everybody else. I don't actually I do use it a little bit in handheld, but I really dislike doing it because I hate the screen. I absolutely hate Switch 2 screen. It's just not a good screen.
Okay.
And I've been spoiled by OLEDs.
Sure.
For way too many years now, so I don't like that. But that's not going to matter to someone else, and I think to someone else, it would be fine. But yeah, for me, it's just our exclusive content.
And Craig, you said you had one too?
Yeah.
So what's your...
I got it for the exclusives.
Exclusives. What's your fave?
Yeah. I'd love to say it was Donkey Kong Bonanza also, but I actually found that kind of disappointing. It's a good game, but the thing is, I love a platformer. Absolutely love a platform game. I'd go as far as to say it's my favorite genre, and I thought Donkey Kong Bonanza will be amazing, and it's okay. I think it's not as good as Mario Odyssey. It's definitely not as good as Astro Bot. So yeah,
I do agree with Craig.
Kong. You clearly don't love Donkey Kong.
What about what is something that you do like? What's one that above that? Is there one that sells you on the Switch too? Having it?
I don't think there was any one thing that sold me on it so much as just what would come down the line. I'm kind of like, if I'm going to get something, I'll be an early adopter of it. I don't see the point in waiting necessarily for an iteration down the line. I'd rather get it when it comes out, which, as it turns out, is the right move.
Yeah.
With the way that things are going at the moment. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to Ocarina of Time. Like, if that comes out in November, I'm choosing that over Grand Theft Auto every day of the week. That's my November game. Mario Kart World's been a lot of fun, but because playing it with my daughter, she likes Super Smash Brothers, so we play that. I understand Splatoon Raiders is supposed to be good, so that's on my radar. Yeah.
Asa, what sells you on it?
I've got. I really didn't like using the first Switch because it was just like slightly too ugly for TV, I found. So I've got the whole of the Switch 1 library to look into, and I want to play all the Xenoblade games, and I want to play.
They're so good, man.
Chain, and yeah, they're really long as well. So I don't use it that much, and I will never in my life use it as a portable console because I don't play things like that. But there's loads. The catalog is massive for me. There's so much that I want to play on it if I have more time to play on it, including those Xenoblade games. And the price goes up on the 1st of September. So one of its strongest selling points at the moment is just that things are going to get worse, which is a sad selling point. But
welcome to games. What's so good about it? It's not terrible right now. That's marriage. You just described marriage for a lot of people. Damn. Jonny, you have a Switch too? I can't remember if you've got one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got one.
Sell me on a Switch too.
So if you have that feeling of FOMO, like everybody's talking about Zelda and won't shut up about it, and you want to figure out if it's true or maybe, if it's for you or not, then I think it's interesting. I find it interesting to jump in there, experiment some of those games. So far, none of them have really grabbed me, by the way, like Zelda and stuff. I find it really hard to get into those games because the combat I don't find responsive. So the moment to moment doesn't feel that good. There's a lot of cool stuff in it. So I do want to, one of the big reasons was I want to give those games another try with the Switch 2 version, right? So it's very different playing them now because they don't stutter and stuff like that. So when I played, for example, Tears of the Kingdom in the Switch 1, every time you open the creative menu to build stuff, it would actually stutter or bring down the FPS consistently every time I did that. That really grates on you as you play more and more. And you don't have that stuff. So that was a big incentive for me, playing those games in a better state that I could kind of experience them, try to get as close as I can to really enjoying them. There are a few games I really enjoyed, like Xenoblade 3. And so there's always the hope, like, another game like that will come out that I'm going to love, right? And so I thought, hey, let me jump into that. And it's a good device. I like it overall. It's a bit small with the buttons, but, I like it overall. And I, like you said, the utility is nice, dock it, take it away with you kind of thing. Pretty nice. So overall, it's a pretty good device. I would say the main thing that sucks about it is that buying third-party games on it feels ass because the price is terrible every time.
Oh, okay.
They do have sales sometimes, but at that point, the sale is so much better on PC that I just end up buying it there. I prefer to buy it on PC at that time. So that's the only thing that, we should say, yes, it's cheaper to get into that system, but then you're also shelling out a lot of money for third-party games compared to any other platform, pretty much.
By the way, terrible job, everybody, on selling me.
You told me to sell you on it, but
and you didn't even mention, does Satisfy controllers work on it? Can you switch out those ass Joy-Cons for actually usable?
Maybe they have it now. The old Satisfy doesn't fit. I don't know if they have a new one.
Damn.
Yeah.
Dude, those were the greatest, man. It made that actual device feel like it wasn't made for super, super tiny Asian hands. Because the difference between sizes across nation. You can go look this up. There is a dramatic difference. And I remember playing,
Yeah.
and I was like, nobody's thumb is in the middle of their palm. It doesn't exist. It's not what. So you'd be playing it, and my thumb would be down here, and the Satisfy controllers really just made the Switch such a great device. It made it so much more comfortable. I hope there's not a certification thing where like they can't make it because of some stupid like steering wheels on consoles where they grift you for making you buy two steering wheels. But hopefully that doesn't happen.
I did see that there is like third party
Okay.
controllers, because the if you're playing it on handheld, the ergonomics are so bad. There is nothing to grip to. It's
Right.
so
Flat.
You cannot, like, you will be, if you are in bed and playing it like this, it's probably gonna fall on your face at some point. Yeah, it's not good.
That leads us into the other question about handhelds. So PlayStation, the rumor about a real handheld and not the Portal, something that actually works and is good. What do you guys? Yeah, I said it. That thing is donkey shit, man. I'm really hoping whatever their new device is actually something useful. But I don't know if there's a market for an add-on handheld that's going to cost anything that a normal consumer. I mean, maybe it's Sony. They will sell to a small group of people and abandon them without any hesitation. So maybe that's what'll happen. But do you guys believe the idea of a PlayStation 6 handheld as well? Do you like the idea? Is that something that any of you would even look at as a purchase versus a PlayStation 6, which I assume is going to be in your $1,200 to $1,500 range for, cash wise?
That's an interesting one though, because I've not made the assumption that they're doing both. I hope that there is a non-handheld version. I'm more interested in a more beefy, like base, plug it into your TV version. But it does raise questions about what they'll do with their game library, and if it's going to be the Series S, Series X situation again, where the baseline for all of their games is going to be this little handheld device, then I'd rather it didn't exist. But yeah, I'm not really interested in the handheld side of it. If it's their only console and they go in the same direction as Nintendo, who they're clearly having a look at, then Nintendo are making it work and it's satisfying enough. But I don't want it to be like an anchor on the generation for Sony or whatever. So we shall see.
Can you imagine a PlayStation 5 or 6 shrunk down to a handheld, and the amount of heat and battery life that thing will say? It will be Game Gear levels of battery suck. It will be like plug it in, boot up, low battery. The amount of power you will need for those things is ridiculous, man. I mean, hey, if they can figure out a new battery tech, I think that's what's holding us actually back for the most part is battery tech. Like a lot of times I'll want to play and then I'll be like, well, it's going to work for 45 minutes. Like there's Switch 2, obviously, I should point out Switch 2 has a better battery life than a lot of other devices. So
do we have people working on that problem? Do we have like quantum batteries coming up? You got some people.
You've got there's oxygen reaction, sodium. There's like 6, but they all have. Most of them are going to do the thing where they're not optimized until they're bought in great demand, and then they get optimized later. The one I did see was pretty nice. Got good deep cell, and recharge doesn't have it, cause an issue or anything like that. But it's still pretty big. It would not be comfortable, like especially if somebody has a Legion, let's say, and they think that that's heavy. Because I have a Legion, and a lot of people will play it. And be like, this is the most comfortable handheld I've ever had in my hands, but it's right up there with lifting weights. First of all, I'm like, wussy, lift more weights because it weighs like half a pound, whatever. But at the same time, I totally get where they're coming from. Because I do play in bed. In fact, I've found a massive, massive improvement on paying attention when in bed because there's no other screens. There's no Discord. There's no nothing. And I finally paid attention to not Oblivion, but Skyrim's story, which, by the way, terrible story. Like, terrible writing. Like, they've never been great, right? They're terrible. But I was able to go, okay, now they truly are terrible because I've actually paid attention. Skyrim Switch 1's my favorite mobile game of all time, or handheld game of all time. I just absolutely had a blast because there was nothing disturbing that time. And I love the idea of this, but dude, can you imagine how much that's going to cost? Like, I don't see it feasible. They'll do a Portal thing where it's just a streaming device. I mean, the Portal was such a bad device; it still had the Android options. Whatever. That was one of the most disappointing. Man, wow. Well, it wasn't as disappointing as a PSVR 2. So anyway, Asa, about VR. Let's talk about useless shit. So Cyberpunk. I think you and I talked just briefly where I was like, I saw this awesome thing for Cyberpunk. Now, I said awesome and Cyberpunk together, which you will normally never hear me say. But dude, it looked pretty wicked, man. Like that, you had a name for the modder. Let's shout him out. Do you remember the name of that modder?
I don't have the name.
You don't get a shout out. Modder, this was your one time to shine. We would have shouted you out, probably millions of dollars. We didn't get to do it because neither Asa or I want to open Discord. So, but seriously, it looked pretty goddamn good. They were driving a car. It looked like that worked. The motorbike, I've seen a lot of, what was it, Luke Ross, who charged for his mods, got in all that trouble, but he was doing that as well. Dude, that is actually sort of exciting to me. If they could, I mean, that it looked fun. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. Damn.
The thing that's kind of exciting is that it's one of many. There's a wave at the moment, enabled by cloud and codecs and all the rest of it, of games of old getting good VR ports or getting their VR ports. Things like BioShock that you can just imagine would be brilliant to explore Rapture.
Hell yeah.
In VR. You can do that now. And it took a modder like a few days of playing with AI and vibe coding to get that in place. You've got Halo 3 and Halo ODST. You can play those in VR with motion controls and shooting your guns around. There's just loads of them. And it's weird because VR has been in such a terrible place for such a long time in terms of just not being a viable market for anyone to make a game for. And then modders, just in time for the Steam frame, coincidentally, have just started flooding the zone with games that are really appealing. Just properly developed games of old that you can now play in VR because we've got the performance to do that. And it's kind of exciting. But I think, I mean, you tried Cyberpunk, didn't you? And you might have had some issues with it. How did that go?
That was back in the day.
Yeah, I tried.
Oh, real quick, I want to shout out a super chat so we don't miss it. Yamama Gaming. We don't have a single person here with a normal username, now that I thought about it. La, love and respect the boys. $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Demon. Sorry. I just wanted to read that.
I don't have a lot to say about it. It's just that it's a little bit hard to set up unless you use a certain, not mod. There is like a hub where you can download mods for different games for VR. It requires you to like install like 13 mods like manually, like in order, in a specific order.
Wow.
But this app like makes it easier. I know that Skyrim you need to install like 1,000 mods, but there are tools that makes it like easier for that.
Wabbajack, all those kind of tools. I'll help you with that. Yeah.
I had an issue like when I first launched it. So it doesn't let you like launch it in normal mode. It goes to VR, so you either play it in VR or you cannot play it. If you want to play it in non-VR, you need to have like 2 copies. It puts it as Russian, like the language of the game just becomes Russian for some reason. So you do need to change that. It's not perfect. It has some motion controls, but like your hand are doing weird stuff while you're holding the gun. So yeah, I need to play it more. It's a good start. It will improve. All mods like start like this. It's only like version 0.1.1. So it's they still plan to do a lot more, I would say. Yeah.
AI gets a lot of shit, but I gotta say, vibe coding some of these mods and stuff, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Because
I'll be okay.
Yeah. I played a Starfield mod, and the guy's like, listen, I just vibe coded this, but I wanted this thing for Starfield. And I was looking at it going, I've wanted that since day one. So, yep, gonna install it. Like, it's just, it does help for somebody who has an idea of something. You know, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand the hate, but.
Yeah, I don't have like, I'm not against vibe coding. I do use Claude a lot, but There is like a negative to it. I just want to discuss this because like if you have like all these mods and we get flooded with all these mods and we don't have a lot of studios like actually making VR games, like right now we don't have a lot of studios making VR games, like they will suffer. Nobody will be like less people will be buying those games and actually just modding the normal games to play in VR. So those guys will get affected, and maybe studio closures and all of that. So
the opposite though, because all of those studios have already closed. So just flooding it and getting people interested again can only really benefit the actual native developers.
Can I also point out that Witcher 3 was a really good like third-person action RPG, and people still made them afterwards. I don't necessarily worry I get where you're coming from, but we are in zero land right now. VR is a wasteland, and you're talking to somebody who I thought I was going to do a majority of my reviews in VR or VR and flat. I did Alan Wake with the fake VR from that one company. What's his name? Russian programmer. Anyway, it's an app you can get. Yes, Vortex. And it worked, and I played some flat games in VR, and I was like, oh, this is actually pretty sweet, really gearing up for it. And then it just, there are multiple different platforms, the same stuff we all deal with, in other ways. But I agree with you in your worries, but I would rather have a fix to the worries than not those worries at all. Because right now there's just, it's just nothing.
Any momentum we can get with VR,
in a weird
would
way,
be welcome.
It's almost bad momentum would be good because there's nothing to even bounce off of in VR. Yeah, I'll be like, hey man, did you like if I were in the Discord and said, hey guys, I'm playing Cyberpunk VR, I don't even know if they would pause to say what's it like.
Yeah.
And that's also the combination of Cyberpunk's issues in the past. But I mean, for the most part, when you mention VR, you can't stream it, or it's more difficult to stream. You can stream it. I've streamed it, but
ask
more difficult.
Asa.
Yeah, he streams it.
It's a tough thing.
I mean, that dude bought it like something to run around on while he's playing. Like, talk about a nerd.
Still to this day, I have no idea how that treadmill works,
awesome.
Man. That's
I think that thing is amazing.
Yeah,
and
crazy.
Did you see Disney's new one, Asa? Where it's got the little rubber grommets. It's got the fingertips. It looks like a Cyberpunk nightmare sex machine. It's just got all these fingers, and when you walk, it moves under you. This is going to be clipped, but it does this, and you can walk across it, and oh, dude, it looks so good. I mean,
wow,
100,000 probably, but dude, that shit looks awesome. I want VR to take
I do
off.
miss.
Like, I would love to.
I do miss like those big VR editions that came out for some big games like Fallout VR,
LA
Skyrim,
Noire. Yeah.
LA Noire,
Yeah.
just a dedicated, like something from the company itself, like, hey, we took the game you like, here's a cool VR version. It's, we don't need to mess around with mods and like set up stuff. There is something about that I really like. And I was happy to chill out like full price for those, it's something I'm going to jump into. I know I'm not going to have to mess around with settings and stuff.
Yeah.
It's dialed in, and it's going to be its own experience.
As Todd would say, it should just work, right? It should just 16 times the detail, whatever the weird things he said. You see that mountain? You can go there.
Yeah.
But I will say this, Fallout 4 in VR is truly magnificent. Like, that was one of the first games where I was like, whoa, this feels way different than, and I was fine with Fallout 4. I enjoyed it. But the VR there, man, that was a really good indicator of, oh shit, this is, something that is amazing that can be done. Were you going to say something, Asa? I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't.
Solely $20 super chat.
Positive reaction to Fallout. Good.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, I'm trying to be on your side here with a little bit of VR. Could you back me up? Sully, $20 super chat. Happy Friday. I also hate Asa. Does anyone else? I'm just joking. Does anyone else ever hop on Ghost of Yotai just to play a few rounds? I haven't jumped on Ghost in a long. Ghost I really enjoyed. Ghost was both Ghost games I enjoyed a lot, but don't jump into the multiplayer in those at all. Haven't jumped into any of that stuff.
I think isn't that the table game in the game? The one where you have like the little...
Oh, not the multiplayer? You're talking about the little... Then no.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that good. No, it wasn't that Gwent level, event.
Is that like a mini game in these open world games that you actually do that far?
Like Ubisoft, where they always have like the 88th version of chess in there or checkers, and you're like, Ubisoft, come on, bro, make something else for me, please. Do you want to challenge a person in every city? No, I do not. At all. Thank you. I didn't do a lot of Gwent, man. I'm a Gwent virgin almost. I played a little bit when the game. Yeah, I wasn't. I usually love the internal stuff in games, like those little, the respite moment where you're like, I'm living here.
I mean, you had to get into it because it was a little bit of a. If you don't play enough of it,
opaque a little bit.
You never get to the point where you start enjoying it. It just kind of seems random to you, I think.
Yeah.
At a certain level, if you haven't gotten enough into it, it was similar to that other. What was the Final Fantasy one? The Royal.
Queen's Blood.
Queen's Blood.
Queen's Blood.
Yeah.
That was actually really good if you got into it too. Yeah. But if you just never quite, spent the time to understand what was going on, I know a lot of people were frustrated with it.
Understood. What else do we got?
But I really liked it.
What else we got for topics in Discord? Do you guys have any topics that you brought hot and you wanna discuss? Anything amazing that's going on? Any hot deets? Do you actually play the guitar, or is that guitar just up there with that Kirby or whatever, Greg?
It's a guitar. It's a Guitar Hero guitar.
I love it. I mistook that completely. Oh shit! And I see the Predator statue there too. Damn, you guys have some cool shit in your background.
Oh yeah,
I've got nothing. Well, dude, this is my background. I live in front of a black hole. The people on Discord are seeing something completely different than everybody else. Yeah, it's just a black hole behind me. Poker's fun in Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, poker was actually pretty enjoyable in Red Dead. A lot of people played a ton of that. What else we got for topics?
We got a couple more questions.
Go for it.
I had a few topics, whatever you want to hit.
Whatever you guys have time.
Yeah.
Okay. Then let's break into something. Let's do something risky, man. We got something about hot coffee on GTA 5. I'm just joking. Do we have any? Do we have any fun topics? Nothing that's like you're on a desert island and you've got one game. Let's not do that kind of stuff.
Okay. Master Paz says, "What's the most British game you've played?"
The most British game. Is Fable British? Fable's, Fable.
Yeah.
Fable.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's really good one.
Armed and Dangerous was British, I believe. Was it not, guys? Wasn't Armed and Dangerous British? The shooter, I'm too old. You guys are like, what the fuck is that, you old fart?
I think Conquer is very British. Like anything by Rare typically feels very British.
Yeah, true.
I think the one that is like really strangely British is a game on the PS1 called Hogs of War. I don't know if anybody's ever played that before. It was sort of like it was like a 3D Worms game, but it was just all pigs. And like a load of like famous British like actors did the voices. So like Rick Mail did a ton of voices for that game. It was very bizarre. It was very, very British. It was like really over the top. It was sort of like a, Blackadder, but pigs killing each other basically in war scenarios. It was pretty weird, but it was great. And it was very British.
Somebody else just posted Watch Dogs Legion. Okay. Fair. The Getaway, Fable 2.
Oh, absolutely not Watch Dogs Legion.
Listen, shut up.
That's horrific. As someone British, bro, you go into that game is
okay,
nasty.
You mean that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wallace and Gromit. There you go. Is Dishonored British? That's the question. Somebody just asked that. Is Dishonored British?
No, it's kind of inspired a little bit by Industrial Revolution Britain, I guess, but it's not British, and it's made by a French developer, so I won't say it is.
So they can't make anything. They just surrender to their own game. What about hey, here's a game, Watch Dogs or Assassin's Creed Syndicate. That was awesome. Technically, really sort of not British, but I still love that game. Sorry, I love it.
A cool rendition of Victorian
Yeah, I think I was into the Sherlock movies or something. I have no clue why I liked it so much,
Yeah.
but I just absolutely really ended up loving that. Whale Punk. Whale Punk, is that a game or is that a genre? That is a game, isn't it? Whale Punk, didn't that come out as an indie game that came? Johnny, can you look for Whale Punk real quick?
Whale Punk?
Whale Punk. Yeah, it sounds like it's either on Pornhub or it's a genre of games we're going to talk about. One of the two. It's either going to skew towards cancellation or
a
Syndicate.
niche retrofuturistic subgenre and aesthetic. It swaps out the standard steam or coal power for technology entirely driven by the harvesting and burning of whale oil. That's wild.
neat.
I haven't heard of this
Bro,
one
I'm telling
ever.
you, it's like whenever you find out about a new fantasy novel type, and they'll be like RPG light plus LGBTQ plus, and you're just like, dude, your genre is so tight. There's like 6 people who can play this.
Like that time we found out about the rabbit hole of all the books written about Bigfoot kidnapping a lady,
And making love to her,
and like making love.
Amazon self-publishing is just dire. People
it's
blame it on AI, bro. Like Bigfoot, I had Bigfoot's baby. That was 15 years ago. That was way before AI. Humans have been. AI was trained on those sickos on Amazon Pub. I may own a couple. I may own more than a couple, and I've read a couple. But Atomfall. Atomfall was very. Atomfall. I'm excited to hear that they're supposedly doing a sequel to that. That would be cool.
I think as well, a lot of games can be made in Britain, but not feel British.
Oh, sure.
Like I know, I think Hello Games is based in
Isn't Playground
the
Games?
UK.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
Yeah, Playground Games.
Yeah, Playground
Right.
Games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
But those games don't feel British.
No.
And I think Fable is a good approximation to what that is.
Rockstar as well. They are kind of
right.
British,
They're
but they
basically
don't. They make fun of US. So
How do you make fun of something?
Beat me
Oh, go
beat
ahead.
me to it, but thank goodness you're here is a really good recent example.
Mhm.
Me and Craig are big fans of that because it's actually effectively inspired by and based on the kind of area of Britain that I used to live in, that Craig lives in now. And that's a very strange but funny game. But I imagine I've even watched people who are British that live like in a different part of Britain play that game and just be like, I don't really understand anything. Like I don't really get it, which is a testament to how like brilliant it is to like, effectively inspired by Yorkshire in the United Kingdom. So yeah,
Which is its own, apparently, like its own little place. And if you're
its
not
own
from there,
little
you
place,
won't get.
and it's you
really
won't get
good.
it. You just it's right. Yeah, it's right. Right good.
Right
It's really
good.
Right good.
I'm going to point a game out that nobody's going to agree. Well, I say that. You might agree. I don't know why, I felt like Firewatch felt British. I don't mean by its, I don't know exactly what I mean. It might be because they were a little slower in how they delivered stuff. They didn't feel westernized in the story and how it was delivered in Firewatch. There was something I liked about the exploration, and for some reason, it just did not feel like a Western studio did that. And maybe it wasn't. But it popped up, by the way, when I looked at the game that you just mentioned. It's for whatever reason. Oh, more from Panic. Panic must be the producer, must be the publisher of that game, you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go. That's why it popped up. Yeah, but for some reason, that one did. I'm not quite sure why. I'll have to replay it. Firewatch, I enjoyed the shit out of.
Great game.
Yeah,
Great game.
yeah.
Fantastic
Atomic
game.
Hearts, maybe, bro. Atomic Hearts, British,
well,
bro.
Oh no, what's that other one?
Goddamn! That's like a YouTube short where they ask questions about geography, and somebody's like, "I don't know where Spain is, but I love to eat some crawfish." And you're like, "Dude, you picked the wrong person to ask." God damn, son. Atomic Hearts.
What's the other one that's reminiscent of Atomic Hearts, but
Stalker?
it was British?
Atomfall. We said it
Atomfall.
early. Yeah, we said it earlier.
Oh yeah,
Atomfall,
okay, yeah,
for sure,
no.
for sure. But come on, Atomic Hearts, no,
Nah.
dude. That's like whenever anybody messes up, you're walking into a whole world of hurt if you mess up Stalker.
No, absolutely
and Atomic
not.
Hearts,
Remember
dude.
the dirty talking vending machine.
Sex machine, yeah. Yeah. That offended a lot of people,
It's
man.
disturbing, man.
A lot of people. But so did beating up
Yeah.
kids in Yakuza. Those are just weak people. Kids deserve to be beat up, is all I'm saying. Russian. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Trend
Good clip
from-
right there.
that kids need to be beat up. Dude, I said it in the game. That's one of the best parts of Lost Judgment is beating kids up in the high school. It is hilarious. It's every nerd's dream to beat up the pieces of crap that exist in high school. And sure, he was 36.
Yeah.
But, sometimes it takes a while for you to bloom and get your martial arts on. Tren from Media Molecule. You guys know what that is? Tren from Media. That's drugs.
It's not. It's not drugs.
Oh, darn.
It's a game. It's a game they made in Dreams.
No
It's
shit.
the last kind of like original thing that Media Molecule made in Dreams. It's like a train, like a toy train track.
Mm-hmm.
It's a game based around that. It's really, really cool, actually. I think it was like whoever the director was like inspired by his childhood of playing with trains on tracks and stuff like that. So they made this like puzzle game in Dreams called Tren. It's very cool. Yeah.
Well, while we're shouting, let's shout out some small games. Another game I want to shout out, I don't even know if you can buy it anymore, is Concrete Genie. Loved that game.
Good game.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That game was one of the most enjoyable review periods I've ever had in my life. That was
I was really disappointed when they closed.
So, dude,
Opus. Yeah.
And anytime somebody bring up Microsoft closing like smaller studios, I'm like,
yeah,
fucking look at that right there, because those guys did something with the VR mode, and anyway, it sucks. But anybody have any smaller games that you want to shout out? Like something, it doesn't have to be smaller. What I mean is, how about this? We'll change it to games that you don't hear talked about a lot. So it can even be a bigger game that for whatever reason came and went. Is there any titles that you guys have been enjoying or, maybe found
Unicorn
later?
Overlord.
Unicorn Overlord?
I loved Unicorn Overlord. I played it this year. Brilliant game. It's, they call it the rebirth of tactics RPGs. So it's kind of Fire Emblem ilk, but quite different to Fire Emblem ilk. And it's a legitimate, genuine evolution of that kind of genre. And it's brilliant. So I'll shout that one out.
I'm looking at it right now. This is for PS. Oh, it's for everything.
It's for everything except PC.
Really? Weird. Who made it? Japanese developer, maybe?
Vanillaware.
Vanillaware.
Yeah, Atlas and Vanillaware.
Yeah.
What
Anybody
a name.
Unicorn Overload?
Terrible name.
Or Overlord?
No,
Overlord.
Vanilla. The Vanilla
Yeah.
one is funny.
Yeah, true.
Vanillaware.
That's good. I was going to say Metal Eden. Was it this year or last year? It's a FPS cyberpunk kind of games. It's more like Doom, I would say, with the aesthetic, I would say, of Titanfall. It's really good. It has some elements from Metroid, like you can become like a ball and roll over and all of that. It's cool. It's good. Yeah.
You described
that
like
it's Metal Eden.
DMT fever dream right there. That was a lot of stuff all at once. I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Craig, you got any?
Yeah, that.
No, I don't think so. Nothing off the top of my head.
Craig, you're put on the spot. You can't keep saying you don't know. You got to have something. Come on, what's a game your daughter plays that you don't want to admit you play? Does she play?
Well, I admitted to playing Roblox, so I don't get much.
Doesn't go lower than that,
does it? Yeah,
it goes way lower than that, bro. Come on.
You should shout out Grounded. You love Grounded.
Yeah, but that's not that gets its props. I feel like that's not a game that doesn't get its props. It does. Yeah, I was trying to think of something that's really niche that nobody ever talks about, but I don't think there's anything that comes to mind.
What did you think of Grounded 2 versus Grounded 1? Because I had an issue with Grounded 2 and playing it when Grounded 1 had so many features after years. It's always difficult to jump into a sequel when you're like, oh man, it's missing these things.
The problem is I did it ass about face. I did Grounded 2 first because there were a few guys in the Discord jumped into it at launch, and I'd tried to get into Grounded 1 but just never had anyone to play it with. Like, I loved the idea of it and I enjoyed what I played, but there was never really anyone doing it. So I jumped into Grounded 2. We played for a few hours in the Discord, and then I don't know what it was about. It got hooks into me, and then that was it then. So like 200, 500 hours later, I've played it to death, built bases all over the place, been there for every time some new content's launched. But then in a lull in the content, I went back to Grounded 1. And obviously Grounded 1 being a complete game,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. There's things in it that are missing from Grounded 2, but I didn't feel that at the time when I was playing Grounded 2. Yeah.
That probably would have been the smarter way to go about it.
It is better.
Yeah.
Because I had the same as you. Like some stuff like zip lines, they're on the roadmap, but they're not in the game yet.
They come in this update on the 11th, apparently. Yeah.
Yeah. But there's some stuff like that where it's sorely missed if you're used to having that.
See, having a buggy to ride round on, I didn't miss the zip lines. Like I was happy whizzing about on an ant.
I love my zip lines, Craig.
No,
I'm a sucker for zip lines, bro. Since like Death Stranding and other games, it just.
Oh my god!
I need a full zip line system to go all over the place.
Do you like Death Stranding 1 or 2 better, Johnny?
2 by a good margin.
Me too.
As well. Yeah.
Anybody like 1 more than 2?
Neither.
I like.
Go ahead.
I like the mystery of 1 more than 2 because one is like it was so unknown as to what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
So I prefer that, and some of the atmospheric stuff. I also like the environments inspired by Iceland, which is beautiful. I kind of maybe prefer that a little bit. The environments, the second one, but the gameplay and kind of general spectacle and stuff is much better in 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Did 2 sell well? I thought 2 didn't. For some reason, I thought there was a report that 2 had not done as well as they thought. I was sort of depressed because I really enjoyed 2. 1 was just maybe a little too much mystery for me, and I'm a mystery lover. But after a while, I'm just like, Kojima, get an editor, get some folks to help you out, man. Come on, brother.
I'm seeing it surpassed 2 million copies sold worldwide.
Ooh. Yeah, well, I was going to say that's a lot, and then you find out one of these mobile Twitch streamer games sells like 600,000 billion copies in one 30-minute period. So like it's hard to know.
Yeah, I think that's fairly low compared to the really big games. Yeah.
Yeah, for them. Yeah. I feel like Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed never got a fair shot. I partially loved, this is from Vapor. He says, I partially loved the magic gameplay of Avowed. I think he means I particularly loved the magic gameplay of Avowed. Felt so fun. Yeah, dude, Avowed's... I had some issues with the
magic
Avowed.
system.
Once they fixed it up, I really liked Avowed.
Yeah. I hope it's taken and iterated upon by other games. That was really good.
Dual wielding,
magic system. Dual
having
wielding.
A gun and a spell book or whatever was just like, dude, this is just real fun,
Yeah, it is great, is that? Yeah.
I know there were things that it was definitely Outer Worlds level, not Skyrim. You can feel their games are like this contained thing, but man, Outer Worlds 1 and 2 I really liked too. I'm actually very sad that that's done because I'm sort of a sucker for Outer Worlds. I don't know what it is about. I don't know. Maybe it's easier to parse versus a Fallout, which I love Fallouts, but it's like, hey, here's this big open world. Sometimes a little smaller.
It's funny, the second one didn't hit me that much compared to the first. I think like the companions and stuff just really didn't do it for me. Whereas the first one had really strong characters.
Like Pavardi and stuff? Yeah.
Yeah, like some of those will always be with me, right? But the number 2 kind of felt, the gameplay was good. I thought they improved a lot of stuff. But didn't stick with me in the same way.
What's the best NPC? What's the best partner co-op like party character that you can take with you in a video game for anybody? Ooh. Best one, most enjoyable one. Can be a Final Fantasy, can be the boy band Final Fantasy. What is that? 15's the boy band? Is 15?
15.
I like that game. I don't care what anybody fucking says. I love that game.
I agree.
Oh, yeah, dude. yeah. I have this argument with
Yeah,
a lot of people.
good
I
time.
feel so set upon, but I'm
Okay,
just-
except
Oh,
the
God,
what's
here
the
we
the
go.
twink looking so I like the
I don't
cook
know if that's
and
an
I like
acceptable word in America.
Yeah, sorry,
but no,
that's
it's fine. It's
pejorative.
fine where you are, like CUNT, which you'll never hear me say in a million years. So,
Oh,
but
right,
anyway,
right.
what's the
Yeah.
what's the character?
the guy that was like taking pictures and stuff. I like the cook and I like the
Oh.
big homie, but like the other guy, just get rid of him.
Wow, that was
Yeah.
that was a lot said. That was a lot to take it. There's a lot of information in that one. HK47 from KOTOR. Oof, that's a good one, man.
Oh,
Mm.
yeah, that's a great one.
Man, dude. And everybody repeats the stuff we've heard a million times. It is not that shit that makes it good. Meatbag is funny, but if you track that character through the entire KOTOR, he says some hilariously like poignant shit. That character is back
Yeah.
when they were really writing the primo, the occasional, even what was his name? Canderous? That the mercenary guy? Even he had really good stuff. Yeah, really good. Anybody else have any? Like,
Yeah, I liked a lot in Fallout 4. Valentine.
mhm.
That guy was really cool. And then the dog. I really enjoyed having the dog, just dog meat.
Yeah. Dogs, they're pretty much always
Yeah,
my fave.
they're great, man.
Do you have any, Luke?
Got to be Garrus for me from Mass Effect. Just
Yeah.
such a well-written character.
We've now met our disagreement.
Oh,
You really like
really?
Garrus, huh? Yeah, yeah. But that's the way it
a
is.
great utility as well.
Mhm.
Like really great utility. So yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
like
Garrus,
him
yeah.
coming back in the later one and the way he came back and being what was he, Archangel? No. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Either did I.
Yeah. But up until that point, like cracking.
Yeah, the end scene, or not the end scene, but the scene where they're shooting guns and they're shooting bottles or whatever at the top of the Citadel. I was like, wow, that was well done.
Yeah.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Top
Yeah,
character?
there's so
Anybody
many.
else?
Like
You've
in
already
some.
given one. Hang on just for a second. Damn you, Johnny. He's gonna say another word. He can't. I can't like censor. I'm just joking. He never cusses like that. Asa, do you have any?
No, I got nothing. Mine's completely blank.
What about?
Think JRPGs, Asa. What's your like?
Yeah. What about
Blank, Johnny,
BioShock
blank.
Infinite? What about Elizabeth?
I didn't like Bioshock Infinite, so no.
Wow.
You fucking God, I hate you. Man, really? Do you not like it? I don't know if we've talked about whatever. Anyway, okay, Craig, save us here.
Whatever, bro.
There's got to be somebody you like.
No, I don't like having people with me.
Oh my God, you guys. What in the hell is going on? I don't like anybody with me. Okay.
All right.
Demon. You and Luke. Luke saved us with one. You got to have something, man.
I don't play like JRPGs and all of that, so I don't know. I don't have companions in those games, like the games I play. There is like someone that talks to you while you're on your journey, if that counts. I would say Russell from Half-Life Alyx, the guy that talks to you. Yeah, that guy's funny. I think he's like Australian comedian or something like that, and he did a good job with the comedy in that game. Yeah.
One of the guys was posting in Discord saying that he actually thought that one of his favorite, and I know that they probably overstayed their welcome, but I sort of agree, which is Kratos, the head on Kratos's belt.
Mamiya.
Yeah. I can see why somebody would say he overstayed. Everybody in God of War sort of overstays their welcome. And I think that might sort of be on purpose in a weird way. But I would agree with that. I actually thought that character was really awesome. And there's something about having the sort of somebody there to break it up, especially because you got to hear that kid bitching the entire time. So it's always nice.
Where they went wrong with that is them like telling you how to solve a puzzle, and the head would do that too.
Less so than that kid.
It'd be like,
but yeah, I agree with you.
You should look at that.
It's it's better than Aloy telling you there's a ladder and you just got to the spot in Horizon. You just get there and she's like, maybe we should use that ladder.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, I haven't even looked around yet. You know,
Can you imagine living life with the inner dialogue that Aloy has? Just like but saying it out loud like she does?
Yeah.
You would be a crazy person.
Yeah.
You're cooking, and then you're like vocalizing.
You'd get shit done. You'd be like,
You get
right,
shit
I know
done.
exactly
Yeah,
what to
you'd
do.
know where everything
Yeah.
was. You'd walk into a room and be like, ladder's over there. Be like, that goes over there. Johnny, I think you just figured out the key to like having a successful life is just having, you know, a couple different if you listen to the loudest voice that's screaming in your head, it'll be the right one, right? That sounds like good advice. We should put that on the back of a book. I think we should listen to that.
It's worked so far for
it
all
has
of
for
us.
me.
So
Every side character in Tyranny, this is Oregon Fresh, and I would agree. Tyranny is one of the best underrated like games people just do not talk about. Did you ever do Tyranny, Asa?
Oh, sorry.
Asa, have you done anything
Disappointed.
ever in your life? Damn, you don't even like other
Not that
things.
I can remember.
Damn you, Asa. I don't have any other questions about VR, except I do have a question. Do you feel that your money you've put into VR, the walking machine, all that kind of stuff, do you feel that you've got your, have you got your fun out of it? Do you feel that those
Still,
I'm
still getting my fun out of it. I've set all that up again this week. I was playing Alex this week, so I'm not in a place where I would recommend other people chase what I've chased because it is stupid and it's a lot of hard work just to use it and stuff. But yeah, I love it, and I'm planning to use it quite a lot more over the next kind of month or two. So I'm not a dissatisfied customer.
Because how much was the
PSVR 2, I'm
treadmill?
dissatisfied.
Yeah, PSVR 2. It's a good headset. It's just support was terrible. They really failed, I think, on it's a good headset. It's not the greatest. There's a couple different ones that I have that I like a little better, but like I really would have liked to have seen more support. Do you know the most depressing game on that system though is a game it should have been so great, man. It should have been so great. And that's the Horizon Zero Dawn side game that was on PSVR. I cannot remember a time where I felt like they had glory so close. I was like, this could be amazing. The idea of Horizon and playing it and all this stuff, and it used that crap. Like when you were fighting bosses, it used like teleport stuff. It was a mess as a full game. It really let me down. I think that was the biggest like disappointment I've had with VR actually. Well, Skyrim PSVR was disappointment. That just made everybody sick. We couldn't even play it. I don't think I ever got somebody to play that longer than 5 minutes before they saw the bear in the first cave and tried to like move sideways and was like, I'm done. I'm ill. I can't play this. Can't play it at all. Let's see. What else do we got here? Grounded 1 and 2 are both amazing looking as well. Yeah, Grounded, they're really good looking games, actually. Did Grounded do well on the... It came to PlayStation, didn't it?
It's coming to PlayStation on the 11th of this month.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Grounded 1's on PlayStation. Yeah, sorry. Grounded 2 is coming to PlayStation on the 11th, which is unusual because it's still in early access. Don't normally come to PlayStation in early access, but it is.
It's weird that Microsoft technically has not quite a number, but a good number of those service games that are doing well. When you think about it, like, I guess I just didn't expect, especially after I played Sea of Thieves day one, and I was like, this is horrendous, because there was nothing in it. And then as they built it up, you see that Grounded surprised me, because I didn't know Grounded did well, and then found out later, that had really built itself up. It's sort of weird that they have these games. It's easy to forget them. It's easy to, like, just not remember that they're out there. And they're actually doing quite well.
Yeah, State of Decay 2, I think, reached like 11 million players as well. So it did really good.
But it reached.
Is that?
Sorry,
Was
I'm a PR wording freak. Reached is not the same as sold, because I can reach a lot of people if I give them shit for free.
Yeah.
Do we know how many it's sold? I'll look it up.
I don't know how many it's sold.
That game was rough day one. I enjoyed the hell out of it day one, but it was rough.
Yeah, it's actually like State of Decay 3 is like one of the most wishlisted games right now. Well, it's really like it has a lot of wish lists, I would say, on Steam. So people like it. People like zombies and apocalyptic. I think we need more of that.
Days Gone, I would have loved to have seen them do a better sequel for Days. Actually, once Days Gone got patched up, I enjoyed that one. Day one, it was a disaster, but I like some zombies, man. Zombies are easy. They're an easy bad guy. I think State of Decay 2.
True.
I don't know where all these fans came from, because as a fan of State of Decay 1 and 2, I feel like I was always talking to a void, and now all of a sudden you have people being like, I cannot believe they're not making 3. I don't know.
Suddenly it's the best thing since
we talked about this before.
Bread.
Yes, State of Decay, like, where were these people? But I'm really happy that there are those people. I want them to do well. They've rebooted that game that I know 3 times, but 2 times are like public, and it needs to, it's like, let's fucking work on that and get it out. My assumption is they'll self-publish or something. I don't know. That's the other thing, right? Because they left. They're right. Didn't State of Decay one of the companies that left?
Someone bought.
Or
someone bought Undead Labs, but we don't know who bought them. Someone bought them.
We don't know who bought them?
Yeah, apparently, like them and Ninja Theory. That's also was sold. Yeah.
10 Nah, Tencent's losing money, man. Did you guys see the thing about Tencent cutting a bunch of their companies' games too? Like, it's not just America, man. It's like everywhere where all these companies are contracting. It sucks, man. It feels like every day we wake up, there was another one this morning before we got into the podcast where they had laid off a bunch of their people. And then the Xbox story was that Xbox had laid off people, but then I saw a correction that said it was the contractors. By the way, not saying that those people aren't laid off. I'm saying it was originally reported that it was Xbox, like, prime staff who worked at Xbox, and then later it was... This is the problem with news, right? Be like, oh my God, this thing happened. You're like, oh wow. And they're like, not really. What else we got, Johnny?
I played that game, that demo you sent me, Chronoscript.
Let's discuss this.
I don't know if you want to talk about that this week or next.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about it and then we'll wrap it up. Chronoscript, this was given to us by the PR company. I'll just say that. The developer PR company, they wanted us to check it out, and Johnny jumped into it. What did you think?
Yeah, so this was the demo for the game. The demo's not out yet, but I assume it will later. And I just put the name of the game in the chat, Chronoscript. It has a really cool idea. So the gameplay itself is like a 2D side scroller, but you are traversing like the pages of a manuscript. Imagine like, when you get to the end of a page, you kind of go to the next one, and they can be connected like up and down to the side and stuff. And what happens is at a certain point, you step out of the frame, and there's like this lady holding the manuscript that you are on. So it's a bit like Inscription, if people play that, where you're stepping out of the game world and there's like a world outside of the world, if that makes sense. And so that's kind of the cool mechanic where you can track where you are in the manuscript by like tabbing out, and you can kind of see the map of where you are. And then there's some play you can do with that. The demo is very short. I would say like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, depending if you struggle with the boss in there or not. So it's quite short, but I recommend people try it because I think you're either going to like it a lot or it's not going to be for you. It has a really distinct visual style.
Yeah, very
like
distinct.
the way the manuscript looks and stuff. It's for me very cool. I did that was the first thing that got me into it, to try it out. So I think it's worth checking out on Steam. And you can wishlist it if you like. I think I have it on my wish list. I think it's going to be pretty cool to play. I love this world outside interplaying with, there's something really cool about that. It's almost like, I guess, the fourth wall in a way.
In a little bit, yeah.
Or like, a world inside of a world kind of thing. Yeah, pretty cool.
What were the controls?
Cookie Squire.
Thank you.
Did you play Plucky Squire?
Dude, I reviewed that. I thought that game was very enjoyable. So that's what I was trying to think of. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a great example. It's similar, very similar to that, where you go inside the page, right? At times with the gameplay. The gameplay itself is a bit more like
Metroidvania kind of thing, right?
Yeah, like Metroidvania. What's the big one? Hollow Knight. Kind of like that, although not as mechanical of a game. So it's much more casual, laid back.
What
kind of style?
So graphically, Obra Dinn, I think might have been you and I talking about it, but it might have been somebody else. But
it's gonna have that look.
Yeah.
I use that example because you look at it and you almost instantly know whether it's appealing to you or not. Yeah. So I like it though. I'm not that big into those side scroller, Hollow Knight-y games, but this one felt quite good. Controls were responsive. I will say the one damning thing is you don't have a dash, at least in the demo. Maybe you unlock it later. But I hate those games that like the main way you're supposed to dodge something is by awkwardly jumping backwards. Like it just doesn't feel good to me. I want to be able to dash in and out. I just feel like nowadays it's become such a core mechanic in everything, being able to dash through and out, like go out, go back in kind of thing. I really feel that's needed now in the kit.
Were you able to roll?
Nope. No rolling, no dashing.
Just a jump back.
So just jumping.
I can see in the trailer
pure
that you
jumping.
will get those.
Oh, you will get those?
And,
okay, thank God, because I'm sitting here going, what
I'm
the
hoping.
hell? That seems harsh as hell. Okay.
But that was also my issue in Hollow Knight. It's like, you have to kind of grind your way to the point where you unlock that. I just feel like that should be my basic kit.
Yeah.
I need a way to... for me to dodge stuff that isn't just awkwardly jumping around. So I'm not a fan of that, but outside of that, I really enjoyed the
music, sound, voice,
the experience.
Any of those?
There is voice. It was decent. Nothing like I'm going to write home about, but for a game like that, honestly, to have voice was pretty cool. And presentation really good. It's like really polished and stuff. Cool art style.
Do you remember the music at all? Do you remember what style of music it was? If you don't, it's fine.
It was pretty laid back. It was nice, but it's not like a theme that I'm gonna remember. It's more so
a vibe,
a nice background vibe. Yeah. Okay.
Would you say that this game? I'm sorry. Please.
No. I was gonna say because I remember this is the one. I remember this being announced, and then it looked really cool. And then when they came to show it again, they said that the composer on this was, I think it's Yasunori Mitsuda, who did Chrono Trigger, and he's done a few of the Xenoblade Chronicle games as well. So the music I was actually going to ask that to see how it was, because I remember that being like, wow, that's a really, big name.
I was vibing to it, but more in atmosphere kind of thing, instead of it being like a distinct theme. You know what I mean? It was more like, it was a really cool vibe.
15 minutes as well, right? So it's
it was very short.
Right, it's probably half of a track.
Yeah.
Would you say the vibe is so? The vibe looks horror. Okay, there we go. That was the word that I almost messed up the one time saying horror, but horror-ish. Is it horror? Is it horror style, or is it?
No, it's a bit more. Let's see. I don't know the right time period
Gothic?
to evoke. Yes, maybe Gothic. Yeah, along those lines. Yeah, but without being Bloodborne. You know what I mean?
Jinx. I knew it. I knew that's where we were going. I was trying to see if I could get you there. Okay, gotcha. Speaking of that, did you guys see what's the Bloodborne, not Bloodborne, but really Bloodborne game on the Switch? The beta went out.
The Souls.
Yeah. Did anybody try to get into that?
Yeah.
I tried, but I failed.
You failed?
Unsuccessful.
Oh, damn. Yeah. I thought they did the thing where they're like, you can try, but in real life, anybody can get in. So it's weird to hear
No, they actually.
Oh,
well,
damn.
unless I was the only unlucky one. Yeah,
they're like, choose one, man.
Yeah, they're like him, not him. No, I didn't, but yeah, I saw loads of people got an invite to it, which is cool.
I'm excited to see even what it is. Like, I'm not sold on what I've seen, but it would be actually nice to sort of get something from them. So everybody here's, I'm assuming most people are Bloodborne fans. So like Elder Scrolls, Bloodborne fans. It has a specific look to it. It is all multiplayer. Is that what this is?
Yeah, I think it's PvPvE, basically. But because it's From, I'll give that a chance. I'll give that more of a chance than I would someone else.
I was Dark Souls out, and then glad I gave Elden Ring a chance because I almost didn't. I was like, oh man, another. Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean, there's just so many. It's the Dark Souls of Tetris, the Dark Souls of Monopoly. Everything is the Dark Souls of the Dark Souls. Yeah. So it's like when it came out, I just didn't think about it. Skiing with Robin Bree, 2222 super chat. That seems suspicious. 2222 super chat. Happy Friday, dudes. Any thoughts on engagement optimized matchmaking versus skill based?
Yeah,
go for it.
Yeah, lots of thoughts. We don't have a full podcast to get into that.
Okay, but which do you like the short more?
Yes, 100% skill based. So the difference, right, is that skill based is depending on basically whether you win or lose your game, like chess, right? So if you win your game, you gain some elo. Lose your game, lose some elo. And it's purely around that. It doesn't care that you've lost or won X games in a row kind of thing.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Engagement optimized is looking at what's your experience like. And if for example, if you've lost maybe 4 games in a row, it's going to try to give you an easier game for you to stay engaged, that kind of thing. Or if you won a lot of games in a row, it's going to try to keep you at 50% win rate because that's like the sweet spot where you're going to stay engaged. They don't want you to be high win rate or too low either. So there's a whole debate as to whether games like League do engagement optimization under the hood without saying it because the algorithm is not public. So we don't know exactly what the matchmaking is. They claim it's purely a skill-based matchmaking, just like chess. So that's kind of where the discussion is. Most games do skill-based. I'm not aware of any like significant one that's doing the engagement stuff, but that's kind of the summary of it.
I mean, yeah, I don't have anything. My thought would be skill-based. I like skill-based because I'm not a Twitch streamer who wants to unload on people who are brand new to a game. I think for the most part, whenever I hear somebody bitch, it's a Twitch streamer who's like, I can't believe I'm, roasting people. And then when it's hard, they're like, these guys are sweaty. And I'm like, no, they're playing a game. I mean, you could play a game to purposely try to lose, but that would be ridiculous. Yeah. So, yeah, skill-based. I mean, on the other hand, having 2 or 3 options would also be cool. I mean, maybe the entire way they structure rewards and stuff just requires 1. So, because the amount of resources to make sure you're balancing everything would be quite difficult. So maybe that's why. But yeah, so skill-based. Do you guys do multiplayer of any kind? That like where you run?
I hate both those, engagement optimized and skill based. Take me back to Quake 3 Arena when you've got a server.
Who needs a fucking
on that damn server?
Jesus. what do you like? What's the
Quake
other?
Quake 3 Arena.
Yeah, Quake 3
There's
Arena.
There's a server and you join it and you beat whoever's there or you lose to whoever's there.
Okay.
That works for me.
That's fair. Yeah. Unreal 1999 had that. Such a good game.
I think both those systems, particularly like skill-based and optimized, either way, ultimately try and get you at a 50-50 win-lose rate because you're supposed to be playing against people with the same skill as you, and that's just a boring treadmill to me. I'd much rather just take all comers and get better or don't get better.
Dude, do you know what feels the best when you go into that game? And well, to me, I love just getting destroyed by somebody who's really good because usually I learn from that, and then also picking off some people feels good because you're not just getting smoked. So the randomness is sort of very enjoyable to me. So like I sort of like the server stuff too. I honestly wasn't even thinking that was an option anymore because I haven't heard of that in a long time, other than like the Arma.
Yeah, it's pretty
I play
old school.
Arma a lot. Yeah, it's pretty old school.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that worked. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Do we have anything else, Johnny, before we do so? It's 3 hours, 30 minutes in. I didn't realize it was that long. Do we?
I have
any...
a quick.
Yeah, go for it.
What's it called? Like
Science?
when you have two options. Yeah. It was quick science, but like, what's it called? Like pick your.
Choose your own adventure? Option?
I guess. Yeah.
Multiple choice?
Multiple choice. Okay, you have two choices. Okay. So choice number 1.
2 is not multiple.
You're gonna so in both of these you're gonna be affected by time dilation. So either you or a loved one is gonna travel too close to a black hole and you're gonna be affected by time dilation.
Mm-hmm.
So would you prefer that you experience it so that when you go back to Earth, 20 years have passed, and you're the same age more or less, or that your loved one, anyone you, maybe your wife or significant other, they are affected by time dilation so that they come back 20 years older. No, sorry, the other way around. So the opposite way around.
Yeah,
they go out there.
Around.
Yeah, so like they basically experience no time, but for you, 20 years have passed. So which one would you guys?
Is Anne Hathaway anywhere near this entire thing? Because
let's say it's Anne Hathaway.
So she died. No.
Oh, what?
She ruined the entire thing. She ended up killing a bunch of whatever. Anyway,
to be honest, I was pissed at that too. I love the actress, but I'm with you there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
So everybody would be 20 years older.
In the scenario where you're the one traveling, when you come back, everybody's 20 years older, but you're the same spry Karak,
I don't want that.
You don't want to be a spry Karak? I don't know why. Asa, you're a hater.
I'm going for the other option,
Really?
It seems kinda, yeah.
So the other option meaning you're 20.
I can't remember.
They're 20 years
older. Your wife. So the other option is your significant other is
either 20 years older or you are.
They are in this case. In this case, you are on Earth, 20 years older than you were. She returns.
Yeah.
She or he, whoever you want to think of, and they are the same age.
Sounds like the better option, right?
When they left.
I'm choosing that option.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of like a good deal, actually.
Yeah.
When you think
I was thinking that, like, if you went and traveled, you could do a bunch of study and shit. You come back, super, like, you'd have 20 years of experience.
But the same time has elapsed.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're floating around the black hole, like, no time's passed to you, has it? It's passed to everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea of
the person who goes close to the black hole, their time is almost frozen. Like it. Yeah.
I'd let them go.
Yeah. I'd go to the black hole.
You'd go to the black
really?
hole?
Really? Yeah. I can't believe you brought this up. I got so triggered by somebody on Twitter the other day, basically denying that time dilation was a thing. And then they were like,
go try it out.
I thought read a physics text, but I'm like, come on, like how can you deny it? It's just
it literally takes
Albert Einstein was just a man. He could be wrong. Like, but every experiment that we've ever done proves
like
correct.
doesn't stuff like GPS?
Yeah, GPS satellites.
Yeah,
right,
dude.
We got to correct for that.
Listen, man, I have no patience for people like that. I will destroy. That is one of the dumbest things. There's flat earthers. I'm just
pick a good one. If you're gonna pick a conspiracy,
I was writing something, and I said no. I had to talk myself out of it. I talked myself down and walked away before I said something.
Yeah, no. Pick your battles, man. We can't save everybody.
Yeah, I'd go to the black hole.
Go to the black hole.
I'd come back and I'd be the same age. My daughter would be 20 years older, but she's. I don't know. I'd do that, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that could be kind of cool.
You'd miss out on those years, though, right? You'd miss out on.
I would, but then I'd also get to spend, like, I wouldn't die, and then like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? I
get that.
You might have
Yeah.
grandkids when I get back. I'd get the grandkids would grow up, and I'd be there for it, and great grandkids, and yeah, I'd do that.
Okay, well that makes sense. What about you, Luke?
If it,
Probably option one. Option one. I'm not as bolshy as Craig.
Mm.
You'd send them away, and you'd wait around.
Yeah. And I'd wait around.
Wait around.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Demon, what
that
about you?
seems like the better deal, for sure.
I'm with Craig. I'll go.
Well, you
I'll
know,
come
shut
back.
up. He's lying. He's not anyone.
No, yeah, well, I just want to come back to the future and maybe experience the technology. And
What if
stuff
you
like
arrive and everybody's dead? Like we've just
that.
killed
Fuck them.
ourselves. And it's over.
What if the person on the ship with you is Gabe Newell?
I don't care.
he's definitely going then. He's
No.
definitely going to the black hole.
He has billions of dollars. Like, he can. Yeah.
What about you, Asa?
I answered first.
Oh, what'd you say?
And I can't remember what my answer was, but I'm sticking with it.
You don't
He
even
said
know.
he'd stay on Earth and send his loved one away.
Yeah.
He
I-
wants
I-
them. He wants
So
to
you
be
just
funny.
want a young wife. You want to be an old geezer with a
20 years
young
peace and
wife.
quiet, and then a young wife. Yeah, let's do that.
Wow. What are the
Wow.
secrets to a successful marriage? By Asa.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Time
clip that
dilation.
and send it to my time dilation. Is great. Well, we learned it's not. What is it, Click with Adam Sandler, where he's able to pause everybody and it turns
Yeah.
into a
Yeah.
disaster, man. That movie is sad. Well, I want to thank you guys for showing up and hanging out. Absolutely. You guys, you're going to be doing your podcast this weekend. Where can people find you? You want to just go, Asa, and give
Yeah.
the old spiel?
That's tomorrow on the Gaming Arcadia channel. So, yeah, please join us there if you want to hear us talk some more about games and things. It's what we do every week. So, yeah, thanks again for having us on.
Oh yeah, it was a blast as always. You guys are it's one of the few that I actually get a chance to actually watch, and yet somehow didn't track just how negative Asa is on absolutely everything. I mean, damn.
Oh, I'm not going to
Big
live this one
battle
down.
we have to
Damn.
fight
I mean,
every single
Fuck,
week.
dude, you guys have to like lift him up and shit. I feel like everybody needs to deliver him Paxil before you start. You're like, okay, take the pill. Now smile. Anyway, that'll be it for us. Thanks, everybody. If you get a chance, check out the Discord, Patreon, and we will be doing, you will see, yes, I still make videos. But there just hasn't been much to cover. But you will see some reviews and previews from me in the next week or so. Peace out, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Hashtag Gaming Arcadia. There you go.